right, ladies and gentlemen, we are about 24 hours from the kickoff of Week 2 fantasy football. Of course, Week 2 NFL, but for us, fantasy football. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. Hey, do us a favor, hit that like button to show some love. Our goal on today's stream is to answer as many questions as we possibly can. All right. Now, excuse me. Now, if you want to get a chance to win some vouchers on today's stream, you can. All you would need to do is type Week 2, all one word, into the chat. All right, we do these vouchers giveaways pretty much every stream. Type Week 2 into the chat, all one word, and like the stream. Once you've done those two things, you will be entered. Every time we reach 50 likes, we will do a giveaway for some vouchers. So I appreciate y'all for being here with us. We should have a great stream. Now, as far as the flow of today's stream, this is how it's going to work, as it always does. We will start by answering all the questions on the Flock Fantasy website, okay? So anytime you want to prioritize your questions, pop them through the Flock Fantasy website. That is the best place for you to prioritize yourself, to skip the queue, if you will, to get a guaranteed reply. The best news about the Flock site is, even like this person sent a super message 20 hours ago. When we replied to their message, they're going to get a direct link to this video, to the exact time code to when we answered their question. It's just an absolute no-brainer. It's
a no-brainer.
Submit your questions through the Flock site. It is the best way. Now, of course, our goal is to answer as many questions. So if we don't have any questions over there, we'll pop over to YouTube and answer your questions as well. All right, let's start with Rico Suave here.
Rico Suave, Texas. Redraft 1 quarterback, 12 team, star 7. Appreciate each and every one of you being here with us, especially Rico. You are sending away Joe Moneybag, Mixon, T. Higgins, and you are receiving A.J. Brown. Yeah, look.
What do you think?
Sorry?
What do you think?
My initial thought is, how much do you believe in Joe Mixon? How much do you believe that Joe Mixon is going to come back?
Yep.
At the moment, you don't have your team linked. I would just say I'm going to go with the hopes of keeping Joe Mixon, but T. Higgins and A.J. Brown are really close for me.
Yeah, this is a close one. I am probably going to keep T. Higgins as well. I like Joe Mixon. I like that I can keep him on my IR, and he just sits there. And he's kind of this like beautiful like what if. Whereas A.J. Brown and T. Higgins are pretty much in the same exact tier for me. So
I think you would be upset if you were to trade away Joe Mixon. And you wouldn't be doing this trade if you knew Joe Mixon was coming back, guaranteed.
And that's the thing, like at any point, by the way, like if it was week 8 and Joe Mixon was coming back, I think you'd be upset.
Yeah.
By the way, what player are you most excited to watch in week 2?
Oh, of course, the New York Football Giants.
That's a player?
That's a player.
If you guys are watching on the Flock League, the JMO jersey came in. So I apologize. Anybody started Jameson Williams last week? The jersey, it was still at Customs in Australia. So that's probably the reason that he didn't perform last week. So I can guarantee a touchdown this week with Jameson Williams. All right. Trade question from Console says, I have CMC and Zay Worthy, Judy, Devonta Smith. They would be sending away Achane and Chase, my God, for Henry and Puka. Look, I love Puka Nacua. He's my wide receiver 3. Badaki, I actually made a move this week. I moved him over Justin Jefferson in my rankings. I know that probably like initial shock sounds crazy. I know I have him in the Flock League, but I don't think that's crazy at all. I think it's basically like the CMC situation. If Matthew Stafford is healthy, Puka Nacua is an elite option in fantasy football. He's just an elite option, right? That's how I view it. Every single week, this is a guy that you're relying on putting up 19 points. Last year, he was the second wide receiver in points per game. So, when you're making a move like this, I understand why you would want to. We all love Puka Nacua. He was one of the wide receivers in week 1 who actually did well. Jamar Chase didn't. But at the same time, I think Achane and Henry are on the same level for me. And I'm not going to give up my number 1 overall player just to kind of do a lateral move.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah?
Don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, for anyone who is just joining us on the stream, just a heads up, you can get into today's giveaway. Basically, the way it works is every time we reach 50 likes, we'll do a giveaway, give you guys some vouchers on the site. So all you have to do to enter is like the stream and type week 2, all one word, into the chat, no spaces. Let's go to Carflux here. Sorry.
Appreciate you. He says waiver number 2, Benson or Hansen. Or wait, am I tripping? Who's Hansen?
I thought that, and I sent him a message on the back end because I saw this message come in. I said, "Who the hell is like Scott Hansen?" I'll take Scott Hansen at the 101.
Is this like maybe Benson? The closest word I can think is Benson. Hansen, Benson.
Well, you wouldn't say Benson or Benson, that because I was there with you, but he didn't reply.
That's true.
Can someone in the chat tell us what we're missing? What does
Hansen
mean?
The hell's Hansen?
Oh
I'm trying to go through like our league here and see if there's. Someone said Harold.
Oh, maybe Harold Fannin. Okay, if Benson's out there, he should be stashed. But if you need a tight end, I have Fannin as a top 12 tight end in rankings week 2. I think he has a perfect matchup versus Baltimore. So you can play him straight away if you don't have a tight end that you like. So if you're looking at like improving your starting lineup and you have no top tight end, or you lost George Kittle, it would be Fannin. If you don't need tight end, then I'm fine to stash Benson. He's one of the best handcuffs in fantasy. I apologize. I just don't know what Hansen meant.
Yeah.
Let's go to
Chip.
Chip.
Tough one. Yeah. Appreciate you, Chip. 2 quarterback. This is Dynasty. 2 quarterback, 12 team start. 10. You're starting Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Devon Achane, Chuba Hubbard, Garrett Wilson, Martin Harrison here, and a lot of options that you can choose from. We're going to go, for me right now, I have Waddle still over Chris Olave, but we might start him there at the tight end position. I guess the best available that you have is Colston Loveland. That's where I would go. At the flex, a lot of flex options here. I see JCM, Henderson, RJ Harvey, Chris Olave. I think one for sure for me is going to be Chris Olave, and then we're going to be contemplating for one of these running backs, at least for me. Oh, Kenneth Walker. Sorry, I'm going Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
And Chris Olave.
This is really messy, honestly, because there's a lot of things to consider, in my opinion. So you said Chris Olave. First off, my confidence level in pretty much any wide receiver in Miami is at an all-time low.
Sure.
And it's not just because it was a bad game last week. It's because, like, Malik Washington, if you look at last week's usage for Miami, this might surprise some people. Malik Washington was just as involved as any of the other guys. From target share, routes run, snaps. So it looks like they're trying to utilize 3 receivers in a terrible offense. I am very hesitant to trust Jalen Waddle right now. I would prefer not to start him. So I would honestly, just as a placeholder there, I'm going to, instead of Waddle, I'll put Olave at my wide receiver spot, just personally. You have 2 different opinions here. Then at flex, I do think Walker is probably the start. You're going to have to be patient and prepared for some disappointment. Because we don't know how that's going to pan out. Last thing I want to say here, Chip, is Colston Loveland cannot be the best available tight end for you to start this week. He just can't. Yeah. Not a startable guy. Komet is starting over him. He's a guy that's more of a stash right now than a play. Names like Harold Fannin, Juwan Johnson, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, even Zach Ertz. I'd rather play any of these names over Colston Loveland, and it's not anti-Loveland, it's just being realistic with his current situation. Ideally, he comes out this week and he breaks out. We're like, oh, great, that's the Colston Loveland we wanted to see. But you can't bet on that right now. And, I mean, I'd start Jake Ferguson over him, Tucker Kraft, Brenton Strange. So hopefully one of those guys are available on the waiver wire.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support here. The next one we
By the
have
way,
is Charlie.
I'm so sorry to interrupt again. I feel like I keep interrupting, but I just want to let people know that we did reach our like goal. So this is our last chance to jump in on the giveaway. And basically the way the giveaway works is all you have to do is like the stream and type week 2 into the chat. And then we're going to give away some vouchers on the Flock Fantasy site. So this is your last chance. There's currently 47 of you guys entered. Once we answer this question, we'll jump over to the giveaway.
All right, Charlie, appreciate you. It says next best quarterback on the waiver is Daniel Jones. I will be going Dak Prescott this week anyway. I'm not sure about Zach. Ashton Genty, Chuba Hubbard, Devonta Smith, CeeDee Lamb, Trey McBride, and you are considering Calvin Stephon Diggs. I see Kenneth Walker here. That's where I would go personally. I know the usage and splits there with Zach Charbonnet is scary, but that's where I'm still going.
I get it. I think that's the right call. But there's no clear option on this team. So I would be aggressively trying to do a 2-for-1 this entire week. Whether that's Ridley and Walker, Diggs and Walker, Mason and Walker. I want to find a better, more reliable flex week in, week out. Thanks, Charlie, for the question. Cheddar's here with the start sit. It looks like their quarterback is Kyler Murray. Running back is Chase Brown, Bijan, Ladd, DJ Moore, Tyler Warren, Chuba Hubbard. And they are considering at flex JCM, names like Hunter, Golden, Tillman. For me, this is Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Really want in on that matchup this week. The Bengals, Jags, highest over-under of the week. Should be a lot of fantasy points involved.
Yeah, completely agree.
All right, let's go to the giveaway.
Week 2, once again, WEEK2 with no space. If you put a space in between week and the number 2,
yeah, it won't register.
It's not going to count. Okay? You have to put it together.
Yes.
Anyways.
All right, our typical app isn't working, so we're going to use this one in the meantime. Let's have a look. So let's go start sit voucher first. So winning a start sit voucher today on stream is the username Troy. I don't want to speak too soon. Oh my God, close. Troy Davis. So Troy, all I need you to do, my friend. By the way, one of my favorite characters of any sitcom all time. Shout out to Troy and Abed in the morning. All you need to do, my friend, is DM me on Discord. There's my username. I need proof of your YouTube account. So send me a screenshot of your YouTube account. And then also just send me your Flock Fantasy username. Now, if you don't have a Flock Fantasy username, I want you to listen really carefully. Anybody who's watching this can create a free account. Just make sure you use a promo code LAND at sign up, because when you do, you're going to get the My Teams feature completely free. So you can link your team if you've got like a Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo account. And that's one of the cool free features that you will get on the site. All right, that was the start sit. Let's go ahead and choose a trade question voucher.
Trade question.
And the trade question voucher goes to Justin. Oh my God, sorry. I spoke too soon. Sorry. Sparrow86. Sparrow86, same thing. DM me on Discord. There's my username on the screen. Send me a screenshot of your YouTube account and your Flock Fantasy name. If you don't have a Flock account yet, just use the code LAND at sign up and we will make sure and hook you up, my dude. All right. Build to the moon with another question.
Build to the moon. Yeah, you are sending away J.K. Dobbins and JCM and receiving Brian Thomas. This is a no-brainer, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
If we can get this done, we want Brian Thomas every single day.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. You got to take Brian there. No-brainer.
Yeah.
Appreciate the team review there from Cheddars. We'll get to that later in today's stream.
Crush 5 is
Titan
next.
Premium.
He says, yeah, it says the Titan Premium is one does this make Goddard a must-start? So Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, CMC, Chuba, Alvin, AJ Brown, Ladd, CeeDee, TJ Hawkinson, and Dallas Goddard. We'll come back to that.
I don't
How about we go
think
to
Dallas
the flex
is
option?
playing this week.
Is that confirmed?
He was a non-participant in Wednesday's practice, so there's a good chance he's not out there.
I think you have time
confirmed.
though to know.
Yeah.
I would just say for me, if I had to start one, I'm still be going TJ.
Yeah, I agree.
You are considering at the flex option, a lot of options here. No running backs. Wide receivers would be Mooney, Shakira, Ridley. Just trying to make sure I'm not going to miss anyone. Yeah, so this for me will be Mooney, Shakira, and then Ridley for me. If Drake London doesn't play, which he has confirmed that he's going to play. That's where I'm going, personally.
Okay. I've been very much anti-Ridley all last week. That's because of the matchup. I don't feel as, strong about the matchup this week. It's a tough defense. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to put Ridley in there myself, and then it would be followed by Mooney as well. But that's assuming that London didn't play. Now I would probably rethink that, and I think Shakir is just safer. So
yeah, that's where I'm at as well.
I need to change that ranking because I was assuming London wasn't going to play. Now he is.
Yes, which has been confirmed that he will play. I was hoping that he wasn't going to play because I'm playing against him this week, but that's okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Dynasty Ty.
Appreciate you, Dynasty Ty. He says real dilemma is between Tony and Trey, Ricky and Emeka. Okay, so at the quarterback position, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff. I like the matchup for Dak this week.
Yeah, okay.
That's where I'm going to be going. I'm going to be going Dak Prescott at the running back. I would be going Tony Pollard, wide receiver Jackson Smith, Puka, Brenton Strange there, and at that flex. Look, I'm not a big believer in, especially with Mac Jones. I know he had a huge part to play last year. I think it's a different offense, different team. I think he might struggle a little bit more. I think we might find a little bit more consistency with Emeka and Buka this week, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, Buka's
so I would go with Emeka.
Yeah, Buka's a top 15 wide receiver for me this week, so I have no problem with that. What I would say is Strange is a fine tight end to start, but you have a lot of depth. I would be exploring the trade market if there's a Bowers or McBride out there. Appreciate you, man. All right, Aiden says to start sit. He's starting Daniels, Connor at running back. It's between Mason, JCM, and Pollard. We're going to go Pollard there. I will say JCM is not set up to smash this week. Keep in mind, last week, the Commanders were in control of the game. They dominated your New York Giants. We all expected it. Your team is bad. And the entire second half, they did not need to really throw the ball. They were in a positive game script. They could run the ball out. Versus the Packers, a much more difficult defense. They looked legit. They shut down the best rushing offense in the NFL last year in week 1 with Monty and Gibbs. So I think JCM could have a tougher go here in week number 2. A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, Fannin, they're at tight end. And then at the flex spot, Travis Hunter?
Yeah.
Maybe
if it's not Travis Hunter, my close second would be Hollywood Brown.
Okay.
If maybe somehow you are contemplating that, Aiden, but I don't think you should be.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. Matt Bear is next. Bo Nix, Alvin, Bucky, Ceedee, Amon-Ra, Jake Ferguson, and a lot of guys to consider, brother. You have to consolidate immediately.
Sutton is the name I'm putting in there.
Sutton.
But we say this. I want to be clear when we say this. Oftentimes we say we're pretty much guaranteed to get this wrong. We say that because you have so many must-start options. Sutton, McMillan, Egbuka. These are all guys that would be must-starts in my flock league if I had them. So, yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed. You're playing Russian roulette there, but Sutton is my highest-ranked player.
Yeah. Vinny, 69. You are sending away J.K. Dobbins for Hollywood Brown. My big question is, how are your running back room? What's your running back room looking like?
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm seeing that J.K. Dobbins is your RB 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I
prefer Dobbins here. I know I'm all aboard selling Dobbins, but Hollywood is like a quick fix.
Hollywood is not the play you should be buying.
When you sell Dobbins, especially in a 10-team start 9, a smaller league, you're packaging Dobbins with another player to upgrade to get a more solidified name. I don't view this as like the move I would make with Dobbins.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say, like, if you do need a wide receiver, there are, like Zach said, other guys out there. But I think if you're in a pinch, if this is like like the quick fix, like Zach said, then I wouldn't be opposed to it because I think Hollywood has that role for a little bit longer. But Xavier Worthy is going to come back. Fantasy King.
Just quickly, number 1, if you guys haven't entered yet into today's giveaway, you can. All you have to do is type week 2 into the chat. All right, just like Gator the Hater did here, all one word. And once you have done that, like the stream. Those are the 2 steps, and you'll be entered into today's giveaway. Every time we reach 50 likes, we'll do a giveaway. We'll give you guys some vouchers on the site. And by the way, I can't respond if you win like on the stream. I will respond. Just send me a DM on Discord. I will respond after the stream. We mark all this down. We go back after the stream and we give people vouchers. So if I don't respond on stream, it's just because I can't. There's just too much going on. But I promise you, I will respond to you as long as you send me a DM. You're good to go. So again, like the stream and type week 2 into the chat. If you drop the super chat, I promise we will get to it. We see you. We just,
Yeah, we see you guys over there.
you know, we are men of our words, and we have said this entire season that we'll prioritize the questions that are on the Flock site. So that's why people get their questions in before we stream and while we stream. So definitely check out that link if you guys are interested. And by the way, last little thing here before we keep going, the season pass is still available. It's a $34 one-time purchase. You get unlimited access to the site, the trade calculator, my rankings, rest of season rankings, weekly rankings, as well as some vouchers to come on the stream and ask us questions anyway. So if you're not a season pass member, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's like $2 a week for the entire season. But let's jump into the next question here from Fantasy King.
Yeah, Fantasy King, I think, no, he's put a super message.
Is there anything on the back
with the message? He just says, I want to know if there's anyone I should drop and if I need to pick up, what advice at the waiver wires if I should make a certain trade. Look, I think you might have submitted that a little bit wrong, Fantasy King. I think what you're probably hoping for is maybe like a trade question. You want to do a trade question instead of a super message. So maybe Zach can walk through that for you.
The way you've submitted this is you've just gone to a super message, and super message is the exact same as a super chat on YouTube. It's just text, right? So if you wanted us to have a look at like a trade for you, maybe what you could do is first link your team on the My Teams page, which anyone can do. Sign up with the code LAND and you create a free account. And then when you link your team, I can click trade question and it will notice that, oh, here's a Flock League. Those are my settings. Okay, let's say I want to send Kamara or Pollard hypothetically for Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. We could figure that out. I mean, just hypothetically, chat, who would you prefer in that deal? I'm just asking hypothetically. If you could get JCM and, you know, some Fab or Pollard, where would you lean? I'm just asking hypothetically. So that's how you would submit like a trade question. Again, just hypothetically in the hypothetical world. But we appreciate you, Fantasy King. Thanks for the. I'm going to give you a free trade question voucher so you can come back and ask the question.
Ask that question properly, but appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Smalls, Biggie Smalls, Justin Fields, Saquon Barkley, and you are considering Samson. I guess this will be Samson or Warren here. Let me just double check because I know this is really, really close. I would say like if Quinchon is not playing, then I will be going Dylan.
Yeah.
But technically, I have Warren higher at the moment. As is ranked right now, I have Warren higher.
I have Warren higher as well, but that's assuming that Judkins was going to get some work. If he's not involved at all, then I would go Samson. So let's say Warren for now, but Samson if there's no Judkins. Then at tight end, you've got Harold Fannin or Juwan Johnson. This is a really tough call. You picked up both these guys off the waiver wire. Obviously, you want to play them. You want to be successful this week. You want to make the right call. There's not a position that's more difficult to hit than tight ends. I mean, we have no idea how to rank tight ends each and every week, if we're honest. But I lean Harold Fannin, and I lean Harold Fannin because of the matchup, right? They play the Ravens. It's the largest spread of the week, 11.5 points. They're underdogs, which I just feel like you're gonna have, you know, a comeback performance here, like garbage time beauty from Harold Fannin. So that's where I lean.
Yeah, this was a tough one. I can see the same for both at the moment right now.
That's fair.
I do have Jawan higher just because of the same conversation. I'm not the big believer of the Mac Jones. Him playing with San Francisco right now, New Orleans playing at home, that feels a little bit better. But like Zach said, it's really hard to figure out which one you should go to. And these guys are back to back in my rankings essentially.
At the flex
option,
you're gonna start at Doonsay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Megatron here with the trade question. It looks like they would be sending Kyron Williams away for DeAndre Swift and Tetaroa McMillan. I love McMillan. Not a big fan of adding Swift. I still, even after Monday Night Football, am like, how long is he going to keep that job? So I like the idea of adding McMillan, but then you look at this running back room. Do you really want DeAndre Swift as your RB2? That's going to be hell every week. I
completely agree. I think
you're already strong.
What I agree with is that the RB2 is going to be rough. Yeah. I actually like the way Swift played. I think they were really trying to get the pass game going, and I think there's going to be games where Swift is going to have amazing games.
Yeah,
but I would rather have Kyron.
Though. That's pretty healthy.
Pretty healthy.
All right, we're going to keep Kyron there for us. Let's see. Ram Berserk is starting Dak at RB2. Henderson and Hampton, tough call. I'm going to lean Hampton there. Then Chase at wide receiver 2. Egbuka is the top 15 play for me this week. At tight end, between Jake and Fannin, I do lean Jake, but this week could change that moving forward. But yeah, Jake, I think if you watch Thursday Night Football, you'll recognize this, especially if you're a Jake Ferguson owner. There were like 3 plays in a row where Jake almost caught a touchdown or was targeted in the end zone in a row. All right. And it was the most exciting and then disappointing thing ever. Okay. So yes. All right. At flex, to me, this is then Henderson and Pearsall at the flex spot. And I love George Pickens, but
Henderson.
I'm not afraid to start Pearsall with Mac Jones. I'm not afraid. And I love Henderson's matchup versus the Dolphins.
I'm afraid. Sorry, I'm just thinking. My rankings say Ricky Pearsall, but I am afraid. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Hopefully that helps.
All right. Jay Balba is sending away JCM and Neighbors for JSN and AJ Brown. Where do you mean here? That's a tough one. For Neighbors over AJ, obviously.
Yeah, I do, but you're getting 2 really valuable starting wide receivers here in a smaller starting lineup. You're probably never going to start JCM in a start 7, depending on your league.
But losing JCM means Trey Benson's now your RB3.
Yeah. But losing JCM Malik Neighbors, meaning AJ Brown and Jackson Smith and Jigba are your wide receiver 1 and 2.
Yeah.
With Tetaroa in the flex or Cortland Sutton in the flex. It's a tough one. This is a tough one. I would just say
I'd like to pull the chat on this.
I wonder if you can get like.
I just put a poll in the chat. I'd love to hear the chat's opinion on this one. This is a tough one, I think. Because, again, losing JCM means Trey Benson's your RB3 in a 10-team league.
Yeah, it's tough. And I'm Malik Neighbors, obviously. I'm a Giants fan.
Already have such a strong wide receiver room.
Yeah, that's actually so true. The wide receiver room is strong enough that, like, you have so right now your wide receiver 1 and 2 is Malik and Sutton. Then you have Tet and your flex option. I'm gonna keep Neighbors side. That just put me over the top there.
Yeah, I mean, from a value perspective, it makes a ton of sense. But I would only do this deal if you can line up like a trade where you send away a receiver for a running back. Like
exactly.
If you can go get a RB3 with one of these other wide receivers that you have, this might be a league where it's hard to get running backs. So if you can have another deal lined up where you're sending away a Dunze, a Sutton, an AJ Brown, or a JSN for a running back, then I think you're in a better spot. Okay. So hopefully that is helpful. Hey guys, if you're just joining us, first off, thanks for spending some time. I know you guys have a lot of places that you could go spend your time with. Our goal today is to answer as many questions as we possibly can. Obviously, the people who are asking questions on the Flock site, we're going to prioritize those. Just full transparency, YouTube takes 30% of any donations on your super chats there, so it's not very friendly to us small creators. Now, here's the deal. You can actually win some free vouchers to ask questions on the site today. All you have to do to enter is type week 2 into the YouTube chat and like the stream. It has to be all one word, but like the stream, type week 2. We'll give away some vouchers. And in fact, we already hit another 50 likes. Every time we reach 50 likes, we do a giveaway. Right now, I can tell you there are currently 104 people entered for this next giveaway. So this is your last chance. We're going to answer another question, and then we'll do another giveaway. This is your last chance to get involved in it, though. Bitter Hornet with the trade question. They are sending away Bashul Tootin, Hollywood Brown, getting back Etienne and Cedric Tillman. I think I'd take the Etienne side of this.
I want Etienne and Cedric. Yeah, I agree. Etienne and Cedric. No doubt.
I definitely believe Tootin's one of my favorite stashes. No doubt about it. But that's a bit. Unless you can see the future, I don't understand how you make a deal like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, unless you actually have the ability to see the future, and you're like, no, I know by week 7, Tootin's the guy. That I can't tell you that. That's not what it currently is being shown to us.
Munch.
Yeah, let's jump to this giveaway though.
Okay, yes. And then
116
we'll go to
entries.
Munch.
116 entries. Let's see. Let's give away a start sit, and the first winner for the start sit voucher is going to be.
Ooh, big money, big money, big money.
It
Here we go.
is Kyle. So Kyle, send me a DM on Discord, my friend. Very, very simple process. All you have to do is send me a DM on Discord. Send me, a screenshot of your YouTube account, and then tell me your Flock Fantasy username. That's my Discord username. Now, if you don't have an account on the Flock site just yet, create one for free. I'll send you a link here right now in the chat. But use the promo code LAND at sign up just to create a free account. And when you do, you will get unlimited access to the My Teams page, where you can, link Sleeper, ESPN, and Yahoo leagues and kind of like see where Expert Consensus ranks your league. Anybody can do that, by the way. All right, so trade question voucher now. Trade question.
By the way,
voucher.
I put that Discord link in the chat there for you, Kyle. So keep that in mind. Big money, big money.
Just make sure you're messaging me on Discord. Okay.
Yeah.
And the winner here is Football Frames. Same thing, Football Frames. DM me on Discord. Same username.
Football Frames.
And we're gonna give you a trade question voucher there, my friend.
Come
Appreciate
on,
you.
Football Frames.
Every time we reach 50 likes, we'll do another giveaway. Appreciate y'all for being here. All right, Dak, Pacheco, Diggs, Jameson, Ferguson. Trade, you would get back Lamar, Pollard, and Kittle. Yeah.
Okay. This is one quarterback, 12 team start, so a small little league here. The way my mind is working right now, I'm just going to take out Stephon Diggs and Jake Ferguson. I'm looking at this as Dak Prescott, Isaiah Pacheco, Jameson Williams. Not that those guys don't matter.
Sure.
But those guys most likely aren't hitting your starting lineup on a week-to-week basis.
Only problem is when you take those players out, it's pretty easy to accept the Lamar side, though.
Yes, no, I understand that. That's why he's sending that. He's sending that, and he's receiving Lamar. So like, I'm just thinking those two guys are throw-ins essentially.
Sure.
As the way I'm reading it. Now the only about this trade is your tight end position, because if you were to do this trade, you're not going to have
I think he's already done the trade.
Start.
I think he's already done the trade. It's just it didn't involve Lamar because it looks like Kittle's on his team already. So I'm not sure exactly what the trade involves, but getting Lamar, Pollard, and Kittle was the offer. Lamar, Pollard, and Kittle. He doesn't have Pollard.
He has Kittle though.
He does have.
He has Jameson.
Yeah.
Jameson was part of that trade.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the actual trade ended up being, but it looks like he did. No, he was sending away Jameson in this deal. So, okay. Look, overall, I would say if you don't need Jameson and Diggs and your wide receiver room is strong enough to do this deal, I'm open to it. But that's where you're going to take the biggest hit is at wide receiver. And I would argue that if you were to do a trade like that, losing Jameson would be really tough, but it looks like you lost Diggs, so I like that. I like that you added Kittle. So I think you're in a pretty good spot there, my friend. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Dill Nasty is next.
Come on, Nasty.
Caleb Williams, Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown, CD, T. Higgins, Hunter Henry. Obviously, George Kittle is out for you. A lot of guys to consider here. I see Jerry Jeudy, Jacoby Myers, Ricky Pearsall, Henderson.
This is Jacoby Myers for me and Ricky Pearsall. I love Henderson this week, but Pearsall is the number one there. Mac Jones is, in my opinion, a reliable backup, and Myers has a great opportunity to smash again in week 2.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Appreciate you. Bori.
All right, let me refresh so much, man. Because I need to refresh and see the questions.
No worries. I think Bori is next.
But go ahead and start with Bori then.
Okay, awesome. Bori is a start 7. Considering Justin Fields or Dak Prescott. Based off matchup this week, let me just double check at the quarterback position in my rankings.
I have them in the same tier, but I would.
Yeah, I do. I have Fields higher, exactly. CMC, Omarion, Tet, Malik. You're going to be starting. You have George Pickens at that flex. I'm going to go Harold Fan in there.
Yeah. I'm there. Fannon's a fun play. Obviously, he's a risky play because there's no long-term, trust built. But I want to have fun, and he was a fun player to watch. Shout out to Mari for the team review. Again, we will do these team reviews here at some point today. Would you send away JCM for Etienne and Charbonnet?
With JCM for Etienne and Charbonnet, I would say the fact that I'm getting Charbonnet back, yes.
Yeah, I kind of view Charbonnet and JCM similarly, so this seems like a free ETN to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it will go.
All right. What's up, Regis? Nice. He's sending away Walker and Ridley for Taylor and Cup. I'm a no-brainer yes smash on this one. You got to take the Taylor side. What's wrong?
I don't see Regis, but continue.
Okay. I do not see a reason to ride the Walker train if you have an easy out. Now, of course, Walker could come out in week 2 and be the guy. That's totally a possibility. Like, that's a complete range of outcome that is possible. However, you have an easy out here. You have a free out. And I know Cooper Kupp is toast, but it's not like I trust Ridley in my lineup right now anyway. It's not like anyone's out there and being like, oh, shoot. Who do I trust? So anyway.
I guess the question is, would you have Ridley or how about we change it then? If we don't like Ridley, would you have Ridley or Tillman, or Ridley or Mooney? I think I would rather have either of those guys.
I'd still rather have
Cooper, excuse me.
Cooper, right. Okay, yeah, I would prefer Tillman, Mooney, Myers.
Or Mooney, Myers.
I also think you might be getting too greedy there because nobody, I'm shocked that this trade's available. It seems like a really easy out for someone who drafted Walker.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, Bo Nix or Justin Fields? I'm still putting Bo Nix in there.
Agreed.
T. Higgins, but go with your gut. Like, they're in the same tier. We've said this all week. They're in the same exact tier. I know week 1 seems like it's, locked and loaded. That's what everything's going to be every week of fantasy football, but that's not the reality. So you can go with your gut there, but I still have more trust with Bo Nix. At wide receiver 2, now, this is difficult. I think I lean DK. I like the matchup better than I liked it in week 1. I wasn't team DK in week 1, but I like the matchup better here. So that's where I would go. I'll go DK. I'm higher on DK this week. But we'll probably end up flexing Ricky anyway. Andrews or Loveland? I think neither of them are great options, but you just put Andrews in there for now.
Agreed.
The veteran. And then we're going to flex Pearsall anyway. I'm sure you would flex DK anyway, and then probably throw Tyreek Hill in there.
I personally would go Hollywood.
Really?
Sounds crazy.
Okay.
I just think he's...
Look, they're in the same tier for me. I just feel like that feels like something that we're betting too much on week 1 repeating,
I'm not, and I'm sure we're once again, two sides of the coin then. We are betting on week 1 repeating, but we're also hoping that the week 1 performance from Tyreek doesn't also occur. Right? Like, if right now, in my opinion, which this may sound crazy, I feel like Hollywood Brown's ceiling is higher than Tyreek. Just based off of there's going to be no Xavier Worthy, there's no Rashee Rice. The wide receiver 1 right now, at the moment, seems like it's Hollywood Brown on that offense. Tyreek, I think, might be done for, especially with the reports of all this stuff going on. Is he going to play this week with everything that's happening? I don't know. I would just go Hollywood Brown.
Okay.
Personally.
I totally understand why. I just would put Tyreek out there still.
Yeah, I get that.
Pasta Bro, it's a trade question. It says, any trades for Reed with team Midnight Baking Perp? Number 1, I still think after week 1, nobody wants Jaden Reed. So just keep that in mind. I don't think there's a single soul out there that watched the Packers game and saw how little they used their players,
wide receivers,
and thought, I want to
that touchdown.
Totally, like, I want to go buy these Packer receivers. Nobody is saying that. Nobody feels that way at all, in my opinion. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to trade him. But teams, you said Midnight Baking and Perp. So Midnight. I mean, what best you could get is Shakir Myers. I doubt they're even going to give you that.
Shakir Myers, yeah.
Do you have a tight end you can rely on? If not, I'm not opposed to like a Harold Fannin. Well, you've already got a tight end you can rely on.
Baking. I see a name like Jordan Addison.
Yeah,
If you
I'd
want
rather
to
have
trade for him
Jordan
right
Addison.
now.
Yep, that's a good
That's
idea.
probably the only person. And then who was the other one?
The other team is Perp.
If that person's desperate for a wide receiver without Xavier Worthy, can you do Xavier Worthy? Can you do RJ Harvey? I doubt those trades are going to go through.
Worthy's risky, but what you could do with Harvey is try and... Would you do like Tyrone and Reed? Try and send that? I would.
Tyrone and Reed?
For Harvey. Betting on the long-term play. Start 7
Sure.
league.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Hopefully that helps. But be aware, nobody wants Jaden Reed. Let's be honest. All right, PKB 90. It looks like they're sending away Pickens. They get back Godwin and Worthy. I don't see a reason to make this deal, truthfully. We don't know when Worthy's going to be back. They're talking about potential surgery. They're talking about playing him. Everything's on the table. Literally, everything from the spectrum
It's
of
too
he
late
could
now.
play this week or he could miss the entire season is still on the table.
It's too late. It's too hard to kind of play with that as well, especially every week gets closer to Rice coming back. Every week gets closer to his upside. Him going right back to being the wide receiver 2 instead of the wide receiver 1 in the first 6 weeks. So I would agree.
Yeah. And in a
Not for George
14-team league, start 8, you can't have nothing burgers on your roster. You just can't.
Yeah.
Not in week 2. Dookie Shoes with a start sit. The Knicks or McCarthy. I'm still going to go Knicks, although it was great to see McCarthy do his thing. Also,
It was good that he was struggling the first half. I was like, oh no, this is not good. I was like, this is not good the first
Bro.
half. And he came back slinging. I was like, okay, thank God.
Yeah.
Were you panicking? You were panicking the first half. No doubt about it. I have so much JJ McCarthy in Dynasty, and I was like, please God.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right, Bo Nix off here, starting for us at RB2. I guess you got to go JCM here.
Do you go JCM or Mason? Mason at home against the Vikings. I mean, you were right. I was really against Mason. He got more. He just looked better than. He just looked better than Aaron Jones. That's all I'm saying. At the wide receiver position, Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua, Jonnu Smith. If Evan Ingram plays, I understand why you have Jonnu Smith there. If Evan Ingram plays, you play him. I'm in the same position. And my thing just completely reset, so I can't even see where. Does that happen to you sometimes? It takes you out of the whole question. Okay, I'm back here. Yeah, if Evan Ingram plays, you play him. He practiced today, so that's kind of a good indication. And then I'm starting Cortland Sutton.
How do you sit JSN though in a PPR league?
Oh, I didn't even see JSN. Sorry, didn't even see him. I would start JSN over Cortland.
Yeah. You gotta consolidate. No, I mean not consolidate because your depth is terrible, but I feel like you need to improve your RB2. Personally, I would love to send like Jordan Mason, not in Sutton, but just be looking for potential opportunities to consolidate this team. But that's the lineup we'd go with there.
Pilot Drew.
Uh-huh.
You're sending away Jonathan Taylor, Nico Collins, receiving Bijan Robinson, and Lad McConkey. I'm okay with this trade. There's a bigger gap between the running backs for me. Nico and Lad essentially being drafted, well, I guess almost around the par, but still, the gap between the running backs is more significant than wide receiver.
Yeah, I want Bijan there. I want the best player in the deal. Bezecki is sending JSN away for Josh Jacobs. That's a pretty even deal, I'd say. And if they lose Jacobs, yeah, I mean, their running back too is where they're struggling right now with Harvey and Walker. It's a 10-team league. I don't really have a strong opinion on this one, but you probably need better running backs than that in a 10-team league.
Yeah, it just depends on what you need. If you need a running back, sure.
It's an even
Hornet.
even deal. There's not a imbalance there or anything.
Little Hornet, you are sending away Aaron Jones, Hollywood Brown, Drake London, receiving Bijan Robinson, 1 quarterback, 12 team start, 7. I'm okay with the Bijan side because once again, when are you going to be starting Hollywood Brown? When are you going to be starting Aaron Jones in a league like this? If the way I'm thinking your team is going to be good enough, or is good enough.
Yeah, 12 team start, 7.
Your
Hollywood
RB2
doesn't impact this trade at all.
No, and then your RB2 goes from Aaron Jones to Bijan Robinson.
Yeah,
and you do lose your wide receiver 1 in Drake London, though.
Mm-hmm. That's what's tough.
Yeah.
But a lineup of... Does his starting lineup improve? That's the question. He has to start 2 running backs. He has to.
I don't think it does.
You don't think it improves? By getting Bijan?
It evens out. Now, would you rather have the RB2 or... Actually, it does. He has enough depth at wide receiver. Sorry.
Well,
the depth at wide receiver is enough.
What I was going to say is I do think it improves your starting lineup because you go from starting Daniel, CMC, Jones. You have to start an RB2 to Jaden Daniels, CMC, Bijan. Of course, losing London hurts, but you have enough. You have a much better wide receiver room than running back room, so I'm fine to take the side of Bijan.
I would agree. Sorry about that. I would agree.
To go 58 says stick with Fields for the season. Drop Nix for Juwan Johnson. I wouldn't drop Nix after week 1. That's an overreaction.
100%. Someone you could drop is Calvin Austin for Juwan Johnson.
I'd rather have Juwan Johnson than Calvin. That's a good point.
The player that you are starting in your flex position would be Travis Hunter for me. Or sorry, wide receiver position would be Travis Hunter, and then at the flex it would be George Pickens. Sorry.
Flex George Pickens. I agree. I would drop Calvin Austin or Juwan Jennings to get Juwan Johnson if you wanted. Appreciate the question.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking it. Chad is next here.
You're sending away CeeDee Lamb to receive Christian McCaffrey.
Here we are, baby. Shout out to the great and powerful CMC.
I would still rather have CeeDee. This is what I would say. I think it really depends on what you need on your team. If your wide receiver depth is good enough, maybe you have names like the Cortland Sutton, the Mika and Bukas, the Ricky Pierce, like we just saw on the previous team. It might be worth doing, and your RB2 is an Aaron Jones, your RB2 is a JCM or Isaiah Pacheco. This might be worth doing. Actually, he says, I have CeeDee Lamb, Puka, T-Mac, and Travis. My running backs are Alvin, Caleb, Judkins. You also have Rome on your bench. You picked up Booty, it looks like. Look, I'm okay with that.
I want CeeDee Lamb still. Even though I'm a big CMC guy, I still want CeeDee Lamb long term. I just trust him a little bit more. Krill Chain, start sit. They're starting Caleb. Then Kamara, Achan, Nico, Evans, Jake Ferguson at flex. Igbuka for me.
I'm going Buka.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hate starting 2 players from the same team, but whoever Baker throws a touchdown to, you will have them rostered. That's the good news. Steve Cab here. Looks like he would send away Downs for Charbonnet. I prefer Charbonnet here.
Agreed.
I was a big Josh Downs guy. I'll hold my hand up, and I could be overreacting, but week 1, I think there's some things you need to react to and other things that you should not overreact to. I feel like Josh Downs exclusively playing the slot. I know he's dealing with an injury. That seems to be more of like a foundational, this is what we want to do type of thing. He didn't even play 50% of the snaps, so that's difficult, especially if they want to be run focused and put a bunch of 2 tight ends sets out there and stuff. I'll take Charbonnet.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Appreciate you. Gleaming Hovercraft. You're sending away a 26 early second. This is Dynasty for Dalton Kincaid.
A second or Kincaid in a tight end in a non-tight end premium. I'm just going to keep the 2nd round pick.
I agree.
I like Kincaid, but I could be overthinking this, but I know he got the touchdown. 4 targets in a game that had 80 points. Badaki? 4 targets in a game that had 80 points.
Yeah.
I don't know.
With you, brother.
All right, FSNTC, Baker or Kyler this week. Probably go Baker.
Yep, Baker with you.
Chase, Achan, Evans, McConkey, Njoku or Kelsey this week. I'll go Kelsey, I think.
I'll go Kelsey. He's needed more in that offense.
And then we have
Considering
flex
the
options.
flex.
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
Wow.
It's an 18 league, I just realized.
Yeah. I am going to be going. It's going to be tough, but I think you should start Terry. You should probably put him in your wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1 or 2 option, which meaning one of those wide receivers go down. Jameson, Ricky, Adams is where I'm at.
There's just no way we answer this question right. Again, this is a Russian roulette situation. You are. It's just how do you answer
I'm just
this
going
question?
with the team. I'm going with the team. Well, I said this earlier yesterday. I'm going with the team in a league like this that I project is going to be the highest over under. That's not San Francisco and New Orleans. That will most likely, in my opinion, be Bears and Chicago. That's what I will go with Jameson.
Bears,
I'm
Lions.
starting Terry. Bears, Lions, excuse me. I'll be starting Terry and Jameson there.
I just
That's
can't
like the
sit
only-
ETN after what I saw last week. And
Sure.
I mean, I'm rocking the JMO jersey. Nobody wants Jameson Williams to pop off more in week 2 than me. But after what we saw from ETN in week 1, I would struggle to sit him. So that's a tough one, though. In a league like
is a tough
this, I'm sending like overpays, right? Like I'm going to send Devontae Adams, Dobbins, and Kelsey to try and go get Trey McBride. I'm going to send Terry McLaurin and Keenan Allen, and, I want to get JSN. I don't want to have these tough questions every single week in my lineup. Samuel, it looks like they would send away Justin Fields to get back Trevor Lawrence and Tony Pollard. It's a super flex league, by the way. Super flex is a little bit different.
I guess it depends if you need the running back position.
He
And
really
at the
doesn't
moment-
have a need at running back, honestly. He's got Bijan, CMC, Harvey, JCM.
I'd rather just keep the upside with Justin Fields then.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to a deal like that, but what I'd rather do is like send Metcalf in the deal with Fields and make it like Trevor and some insane wide receiver, like do a big upgrade. So yeah.
Bitter
That
Hornets.
didn't go through, so let me just refresh real quickly. Sorry.
Appreciate you. Let me double check to see if we got another like as well or another giveaway here. 149. One more like for another giveaway, guys.
Samuel,
150.
we just
There we go.
answered this question, so go back a couple seconds to watch the answer, or a couple minutes in the stream. Yes, that is a very good point. In case anybody is just joining us, we do have a giveaway today. All you have to do to enter is type week 2, all one word, just like Daniel did here earlier, and like the stream. So do those 2 things, like the stream, type week 2, and then we're going to give away some vouchers here in the stream to the site. JCM or ETN?
This is
If this is a difficult answer for you, then you need to reassess the question I asked you before the stream.
well, this is sure. I still think that that player is in a better situation, in my opinion. Now, what I'm thinking about here is, do you view this person, Travis Etienne, losing his job over Tootin? There's no one behind the person that you said earlier, but to take that job.
I think that Tootin is a great stash, and he could take the job, but it's not something I'm expecting. Right now, if I own Etienne, I want Tootin on my roster, but if I'm unbiased, I'm expecting Etienne to be the guy for this year. But Tootin could overtake him at some point.
Exactly, but the expectation with JCM already is that he's either already won the job or is going to win the job in a high-powered offense. That is the hard part. Right. This is why I hesitated here, because I'm projecting someone to lose opportunity where I'm seeing somebody my other projection for JCM is to gain opportunity. So it's like it's counteracting both, right? Where I don't see that with the other person you said earlier. All this right here, I'll take week 1 outside of it. This is projection. If week 1 didn't happen, who you're taking? Are you taking Travis Etienne or JCM? You will probably say JCM.
I can't operate in a world where I don't consider week 1.
I know.
That's the only information we have now.
I'm just saying, like, a week ago, we were saying JCM no hesitation because we didn't know what Etienne was. And I think right now, with
and then Etienne comes out there and has almost 150 yards and is dominant in a great Liam Cohen offense. I think it's Etienne.
Same thing. And JCM coming out, having a great game, not even seeing the full workload of Travis Etienne. The projection. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the projection here over Etienne.
I'm going Etienne. What are you doing?
I'm going JCM.
All right. We're going to have a conversation later off stream because I need your help with something. Okay, Etienne or Aaron Jones and Hollywood Brown. I'm keeping Etienne.
I'll take Hollywood Brown. Yeah, I'm keeping Etienne. Yeah, I'll keep Etienne here.
Hollywood Brown is not a name I'm like desperate to keep on a roster. That's a start 7 lineup. You know, just improve your roster overall.
New York Street got a team review.
Brett Baker. Gibbs,
okay.
JSN, or Hampton Chase. This is Gibbs, JSN for me.
Gibbs, JSN, yeah.
And PPR, yeah. PPR
I'm
format.
there with you.
Big Dog. Let's start Dak. Or actually, I think I really love Drake May. Let me double check. I think I love him this week.
I like Dak Prescott more.
Okay. I love Drake May because last week, the defense he's about to face this week made Daniel Jones look like a Hall of Fame quarterback. So it's hard to sit anyone against the Dolphins.
Well, Dak Prescott's going to look like a Hall of Fame quarterback every time he plays the Giants. So that's where I want to go.
That is fair.
But anyways,
HN, Hampton, CD, Sutton. Tyler Warren at the flex. It's between Henderson, Hunter, Worthy. Worthy's probably not going to play, so it's Henderson or Hunter. These are both guys that I'm really excited about starting this week. You'll see them in a video coming out tomorrow. I don't have a strong opinion on this. I probably lean Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I'm going Hunter as well.
Okay.
Jonathan. We'll do Jonathan, and then we'll do the giveaway. So you have one last time to join the giveaway. Week 2, no space in the chat, okay? It says Adams, Debo, or Sutton, PPR, start to Fannin or Jawan. So you're starting Bo Nix, Tony, Jahmyr Gibbs, Debo Samuel, or Devontae Adams here. I think we're most likely... Oh.
I'll go Devontae, but I like Debo. I don't mind flexing him if he's your best option. I'll go Harold Fannin over Jawan. Both great options.
Yeah, I'm there.
What I will say is Devontae is close with Debo, by the way. It is close,
that's why I hesitated. That's why I hesitated.
Yeah.
Because if we're going based off Tennessee and what they did last week, and if they're legit defense, then it's hard to start Devontae. Or that means they shut down Puka and Devontae gets more? I don't know. Giga bringing it. 3D chess, like you say.
Could be 3D chess.
Appreciate you, Jonathan.
Morgan Tyler sends away Nico Collins to get back Henderson and Higgins. I don't mind this if you need running back. It's a 10-team league. It's a small league.
Yeah.
He would still have Neighbors, Adunze, Pearsall. I don't love his running back room. I love Nico. I'm not telling you to sell Nico at all, but Higgins is a buy low and Henderson is a buy to me as well.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Hispaniola Lions. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just getting stuff ready for the giveaway.
That's okay.
Who do I put as my third wide receiver in flex? So you're starting Hurts, Williams, Achane. Your wide receiver, we're gonna go Emeka Buka.
Yep.
Justin Jefferson, Dallas Goedert there, and at that flex option, let's go with I'm gonna go with Tony Pollard. It just feels like the safer floor.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown is the higher upside, in my
Pollard's a
opinion.
safe play there for sure. All right. Jake5484. Thanks for the question. He's starting Kyler Murray, Brown, Bijan, Ladd, London, Warren, and then he's considering a whole bunch of names that would be started in almost every other roster we've looked at today. So how do you decide between McMillan, McLaurin, Jameson, and Zay Flowers?
Highest over under. That's honestly the best way I can answer this question. Which game am I seeing that's going to have the most points? And honestly, that's a tough one because I see both of these games having high over unders in Terry versus the Packers and Jameson versus the Bears. So
I'm gonna lean McMillan here. He's just the player I have ranked highest. I think he has the most secure target share. I know it didn't look great in week 1, but this is playing Russian roulette with all these names. I definitely think you could consolidate. Package Jameson and Kyler, package Zay and Kyler. Go get an elite quarterback. I don't want to make these decisions every week.
I would be going Terry.
Okay. Shady Swim. Kyler, Achane, Hampton, Jason, Puka, Kraft at the flex spot. Another really difficult question here. I think Pollard is your safest floor. I think McMillan is the upside play. I'm going to play McMillan in a team league.
Yeah, I'm okay with you. If Brock Purdy was in, I would be starting Ricky. That's all I can say.
At quarterback, we're going to go Bo Nix over Caleb here. Don't panic on Bo Nix after 1 week. If Ingram plays, you can play him. If not, Brenton Strange is a fine backup option. At the flex, this is DK Metcalf for me. And then between Aaron Jones and Adunze, it's really close. Let me remind myself of those matchups. Do you have a strong opinion on that one before I look at these matchups?
Who were the two guys you were considering? Sorry.
The last flex is Aaron Jones or Adunze. Those are the options.
So Aaron Jones is playing the Falcons. Rome Odunze is playing the Lions.
I'm gonna go Rome Adunze.
I would go Rome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going Rome.
Dom. Hey. This is my childhood friend growing up. Shout out to Dom.
Appreciate you, Dom.
Appreciate you, bro. He says, I had to let her go like a canceled TV show. That's an inside joke that only I understand, but that is hilarious. We used to have a rap group called the K-Reg Crew. It was when jerking was a thing. Anyway.
You used to jerk?
Used to jerk, man. I was terrible at it. At RB2, yeah, you got a tough call here. I genuinely do not like Pacheco at all this week, especially with Jalen Carter back because he served his suspension. That's so stupid. That is like, I'm sorry. I know we don't want to waste time on the stream right now, but that is like the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. Okay? It's not even about like a player being on a certain team or anything. A guy gets thrown out of a game, ejected, and later they say, yeah, he served his suspension already. Like, if I could go steal from the candy store and, it's just like, bro, what are we talking about? That is not facing any consequences at all. Like, none whatsoever. Anyway, okay. But what are you going to do here? Pacheco or Mason? I don't like really Pacheco at all.
I'm going to go with Pacheco.
Okay.
Kind of what I said last time. I know the matchup is not ideal. I think the offense is going to be better going into this week, and I'm just going to ride with the high-powered offense there, hoping that there's going to be a bounce back. There's no and if or buts. It's just a gut feeling, so go with whatever you want.
It's really close, but man, I'm not sure there's really that much of a difference between these two names. I lean Jordan Mason. I really hate that decision. I really do. I could see that going either way, Dom. And then at flex, I think Devonta Smith should be in play for you.
Easy.
Hopefully Judkins comes back and you have a little bit more firepower in that running back room. That's a tough one, man. That's a really tough one. Really tough one. Daniel 007 says, "Sup boys, I'm so sick of Ingram. He gets more injured than my 90-year-old grandma."
Yeah, I mean, I have him in the Flock League, so
definitely
know
not
exactly how you
ideal.
feel.
Yeah.
But it's good that he practiced in limitation today. I need to see him practice in limitation again for me to say, you know what, I'm not gonna start. I picked up Zach Ertz in the Flock League, and Zach Ertz is playing on Thursday night. So if he practices again in limitation this week, then that might be a good sign. But I also have another backup on the way, hopefully.
Yeah.
Big
I
boy
would,
Crispy.
if you're an Ingram owner, I would just have the Fannons, the Jennings, the Stranges on my team ready to go. Big boy Crispy, go ahead.
Yeah, Josh Allen, Chase Brown, Marion, Drake London, CeeDee Lamb. Considering TJ Hawkinson, that's where I would go. A lot of guys here in that flex option. I see George Pickens and I see Deebo Samuel, who I'm going to be starting, which you'll put Deebo in that wide receiver 2 option.
So you're going Hawkinson there, yeah, and then, yeah, I agree with you. So we have to put Deebo at wide receiver 2 because he starts on Thursday night. Sorry, that means our flex would then have London, and our last flex you said Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
I would go Henderson, but I can totally see it going either way. I just love that in a 35% snap share debut for Henderson, he had 11 opportunities and 6 of them were targets. You know, I just think he's actually a pretty safe floor if you think about it. And this is a great matchup versus the Dolphins, but I could see it going either way with Pickens there. Effie, what's up? Says AJ, Pollard, Hollywood, ETN, Evans, Pearsall. It's a trade question.
4.
Yep.
So AJ Brown, Tony Pollard, Hollywood Brown for ETN, Evans, and Pearsall.
I think this is maybe selling low on AJ, but I also think it's using Hollywood to get long-term pieces.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard. I think this is a fairly even trade, I would say.
Yeah.
Based off of week 1 performance.
I'm gonna lean Etienne, Evans, Pearsall, but it's close. I think that's about as even as it gets. And if I have a bunch of running back strength already, I might keep AJ. Pikachu, what's up? They're starting Baker, Bucky, Kamara, Puka, Jefferson at tight end. Well, Kittle's not going to play, so we'll put Kraft at the flex spot. They've got a lot of options here. I think Odunze is the name that instantly stands out to me. And then I do think we should have a conversation about Booty, Sampson, and Montgomery. I know the obvious name is Montgomery, but I just feel like we should have a conversation because Monty only played like 33% of the snaps, and his day was saved. When I say saved, he only had like 8 points. His day was saved by targets. I don't know how long you can rely on that. Of course, you're betting on like the offense to bounce back as a whole versus Chicago. But it's a 10-team league. Like, do you really see a scenario in which Monty is an upside play here? He's a floor play. In a 10-team league, I'm not sure that's what I want to chase. Where do you stand, though?
Yeah, I think it just depends on how you view the matchup. Now, it is a floor play, but it's hard to go off week 1 because anything can happen with other wide receivers, especially wide receivers and running back. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Kayshon Boutte only gets 5 points. I wouldn't be surprised if Dylan only gets 5 to 8 points, but would I be surprised if David Montgomery only got 10 points? No, that's the expectation. I also think a lot of it was game script. Monty was down often in that game, so they kind of resulted to not run the ball. So I think it's a hard one. There's a lot that goes into this breakdown. I'm still going to go with the safe floor in Monty in hopes that this offense is going to be better. They're playing at home as a divisional game, even though that was a divisional game. You saw how the Vikings were running the ball a little bit better in the second half against the Bears as well. That's my thought process.
Look, Booty is practicing, guys. So I know Pikachu in the chat said he's injured. He's still practicing with a limited status. Don't freak out about Wednesday reports. Okay? Any Wednesday report for the rest of the year, if a guy's limited, don't freak out about it. This is not uncommon for these guys to just take a rest day or get right in season. I understand where Badaki's coming from. I will lean Monty here, but also I would say that if there is no Judkins, I'm probably going to go Samson. In such a small format, I want upside. So I'll probably go Samson if there's no Judkins. Otherwise, we'll go Monty. Appreciate you for the question, my guy. Nesmith here is sending away Breece Hall to get Henderson and Laporta. The only way you do this is if it improves your tight end room. And it does. I am not against this trade. Let me do you a solid as well and tell you to go pick up Kayshon Boutte while you're here. Brenton Strange is on the waiver wire. It's even. It's about as dead even as it can get. If you want to put Laporta in your lineup each and every week, I have no problem with that at all. Megatron with the trade question. They're sending away Benson, Connor, JCM, JSN. Wow, what a huge deal. For Kyron, Brian Robinson, Waddle, Pearsall. Wow. Okay, let me just think this one through. Backup. Both handcuffs. Prefer Benson, but it's not going to move the needle here. Definitely prefer Kyron over Connor, and it's not very close. I prefer JCM over Waddle, and it's not close. And I prefer JSN over Pearsall, and it's not close. So, as much as I love Ricky Pearsall, I'm probably keeping the side that you have. If you could counter this by keeping JCM and leaving Waddle off, would that be enough for me to do this? I don't think so. JCN looks like a Monra St. Brown. Let's remove JSN and Pearsall. Then I think you're in a good spot. Again, because backup, but I prefer Benson. Prefer Kyron to Connor, but it's close. I prefer JCM to Waddle, but you're paying to get the upgrade of Kyron. Yeah, very close. I would not do this deal with JSN involved. Appreciate the question. All right, let's refresh here. Make sure you vote in the chat, guys. Just hypothetically, if this trade was out there, I put a poll up. Just hypothetically, who would you prefer? Some of you guys are going to understand what that's about. Okay, Oogly Boogly 20. Joe Burrow, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, Brock Bowers. And it looks like Calvin Ridley, Jameson are your options in flex. I'm going to go Jameson Williams there. Definitely expect a bounce back for that entire Lions offense. But in a 10 team, we want to shoot for the moon. That's what you're doing with Jameson in the lineup. Wilson Ruberts, what's up, man? I'm going to go Baker over Caleb this week. Bijan Hampton, Neighbors Nico. At flex, it's Jameson Williams for me. Again, same thing as a previous question. We're shooting for upside in a 10-team league. I expect a bounce back for the Lions. Appreciate that team review there from Bella Bowles. Daniel 007, what's up, man? Says drop Purdy for Lawrence or someone else. Also leaning Fannin. Drop Purdy for Lawrence. I don't know who else is available, Daniel, but if you're looking for like a streamer here in week 2, Lawrence is a great option. He's got a really good game versus the Bengals. That will be fun. So yeah, I think Lawrence is a great option. Assuming like Drake May is not available. Dak Prescott. Chase Brown, Gibbs, T-Mac, Ladd at tight end. Yeah, between Strange and Fannin, I'm like so close here. If Evan Ingram plays, I think you can start Evan Ingram. But if not, I think I just want to have fun in a start 11 and put Fannin in there, knowing he can bust. Any tight end can bust. And then Igbuka is the play there at wide receiver. Andrew, thank you for the question, my friend. He is... you know what? We should do that giveaway. I apologize. I just realized we passed 150 a while ago. All right, so this is your last chance to enter the giveaway. All you have to do is type week 2 into the chat, all one word. All right, and like the stream. Once you've done those two things, you'll be entered into today's giveaway. There's 140 entries right now. So let me answer one last question, and then we'll jump into it. Andrew here. We're going to go Kyler Murray versus the Panthers. Brees, Achane, Nico, Neighbors at wide receiver 3. Between Pickens and Smith, this is close. I don't love Smith's matchup. But, yeah. That's a toss-up. That's a true toss-up. Let me see if it's going to matter. Let's put Pickens in there for now. And then at the flex, are you going to start Devonta anyway? Yeah, you're going to start Devonta Smith anyway. That's a tough one. You probably would struggle to have confidence with these names right now as well, which I would understand. All right. Jakub says, if London doesn't play, who do I put there? So Baker, Cook, Hampton, Lamb, London. We're going to start Hawkinson. London is projected to play. But right now you would flex Sutton. And if London doesn't play, I would start Egbuka. Appreciate you, man. All right. 153 entries. Let's do this giveaway here.
Sorry.
That's okay. Let's go ahead and give away a start sit voucher. And the winner is...
The winner is...
The
big
winner
money, big money.
is Chase
Big money.
Weber. So Chase Weber, all I need you to do, my guy, is send me a message on Discord, screenshot your YouTube account, and then tell me your Flock Fantasy username. If you do not have an account on Flock Fantasy yet, and this goes for everybody watching this, create one for free. Just make sure you use the code LAND at signup, LAND, and then you're going to be able to see the My Teams feature for free. Sleeper, ESPN, Yahoo leagues, link it up, see what the expert consensus thinks about your team in your league. All right.
Big money. Appreciate
and
you.
And then the
start sit or the
trade question voucher goes to... Let's see who's winning the trade question voucher. It is going to Ocho Gaming. Same thing, my guy. Send me your stuff on Discord and your Flock Fantasy username. Appreciate you. All right,
love,
Yo at wide receiver. I'm starting McMillan. I think Badaki's going Terry. It's close. But at flex, I'll probably put Terry in at flex anyway.
Yeah, and I put McMillan at flex. So put Terry in the wide receiver spot. By the way, keep that in mind. Because Terry plays Thursday night.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, good point.
GG's dos. He says liking strange matchup against Cincy getting Dak. Okay, so you're gonna pick up Dak Prescott. Okay. Bucky Irving, Saquon Barkley, Mike Evans, Drake London. Strange over Tucker Kraft though. Let me just triple check that. Yeah, I would have Tucker over Strange as well. And then at that flex position, you're going to be starting, I see Cortland Sutton here.
Yes, sir. Sutton is in there like swimwear. Acosta 36 at quarterback. This is super flex league. You got to go Dak here, in my opinion. I know Daniel Jones looked great in week 1. I want to see that multiple weeks. Running back, you got to start Jonathan Taylor and Bijan.
Yeah, and
Robinson.
Bijan.
At wide receivers.
I see CD Lamb.
CD's got to be in there.
I see Terry.
Terry's got to be in there.
I see DJ Moore.
Yeah, DJ Moore is probably the next name, yeah.
At tight end, we go Tyler Warren.
Yep.
Flex option. I would go... I would probably go Shakira and Keenan Allen there over JK.
This would be Myers.
Oh, Myers actually is there. I would go... No, I would still go Keenan in... Let me just double check.
You've got an obsession with
really close.
Shakir.
These are close. Well, I'm just double checking wide receivers. According to this, I have Shakira. Yeah.
You have a problem. You need to see a doctor.
I need to check Keenan Allen, technically.
I'm going Keenan Allen and Jacoby Myers there. Just prefer that offense a little bit more.
I have Jacoby Myers over Keenan, so.
Yeah, I got
That's where I
Keenan
would
over
go.
Jacoby, but I understand. 2 Point Tony says Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert. If you have to choose one, I'm going with Mahomes this week. I expect them to be down pretty significantly, but they're back-to-back in my rankings, so I don't have a strong opinion. James Cook, Henderson, Warren, Judkins. I don't think this lineup was set. He basically put every player as one option. Let me show you exactly how to do it, just so, because we want to give you the best review, right? Or the best start sit. So you go to start sit, you choose your league, it'll automatically import your settings, and then what we need you to do is just tell us, you know, I'm locked in on Bo Nix, but here's the players that I'm considering, okay? And then every position, we know exactly who you're considering for your lineups. So right now, you've submitted it in a way where you've just put like every player instead of like the positions and us choosing the players for the positions. But anyway, I'm going to just answer this as if it's like a super chat. So I'm going to go Mahomes, Cook, Henderson. That's 3. At wide receiver, I'm going to start Sutton, Neighbors. That's 5. At tight end, Warren. And then we don't have, there's no other players here. We don't have any other players to choose
Yeah,
from.
I think he needs to resubmit it because there's a bunch of players I'm assuming we're missing.
Make sure you link your team first in the My Teams tab, my guy. Either Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo. That will let us see your entire league. Right now, I think you're doing it manually. I'm going to give you a free start sit voucher because I don't know if we can answer that without knowing the players that you have. New York Giants straight.
Yeah, Daniels, Baker. You're starting Bucky there. I am going to be starting Kenneth Walker. Ooh, James Conner as well. I like James Conner matchup up against the Panthers, which is going to be really good this week. So I have James Conner technically. Let me just triple check that. I have James. Where are you? Yeah, I have James over Etienne. I actually have Kenneth Walker over James by 2 spots. That's what I would say. But maybe we might put Kenneth Walker in the or James Conner in the flex. So Jamar Chase, Drake London, Puka. Tight ends, you're starting Jawan Jennings at the flex option here. Oh gosh, you have to start Jackson Smith and Jigba and Devonta Smith.
I agree on Jackson Smith and Jigba. I would start Ricky over Devonta. I would start Myers over Devonta.
Okay.
So I would go Ricky personally. Just want to remind
Are you
people.
starting James over Walker? Because I would go Walker over James technically, but it's hard to sit James this week.
Walker over James. James who?
James Conner. He has James Conner.
Oh, yeah. No, I would go Connor over Etienne and Walker then.
Yeah.
But then I'm probably putting Etienne in my flex. So it would be Etienne at the flex spot for me.
Yeah, I'll be starting the wide receivers in Jackson Smith and Devonta Smith. That's a tough one.
Cut Bigsby. Heaps of decent. Yeah, you can cut Bigsby. Yeah. I tweeted this out yesterday. Or whenever Bigsby was traded. Yeah, I think you can cut him. People call me a dumbass, but I think Shipley's still going to be involved. I know he's injured, and it's just a handcuff at this point. And let's say Shipley is healthy. AJ Dillon's still there. I just feel like it's not a clear-cut backfield if Saquon goes down.
I agree.
That's the only reason you want to roster guys, because you see a clear-cut backfield. I don't see that. And I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. Burrow, we're going to start here over Justin. Jefferson, Ladd. It's really Jameson, Ricky, Javonte. Javonte, in my opinion, is set to smash against your Giants, so that's where I'm going to go.
I would still go the wide receivers in Ricky or JMO. I have Ricky higher, but I'm scared of Mac Jones.
Well, you got to change your rankings then. You can't say that every time and not pick Ricky every time.
I have been picking Ricky. I just said I'm picking Ricky. I'm just saying I'm scared of Mac Jones.
Okay. I'm going to go Javonte. Love the smash matchup, but you got 2 different opinions there. Tired Providence is starting Hurts, Bucky, Henderson, Puka, Lamb, Warren. And then at flex, we don't know what your options are, my friend. You haven't given us any options to choose a flex. So
Who did I put in flex? No one.
what you'll need to do is same thing we just told the other person, just a heads up. Go to the My Teams page. Make sure you link your team, whether it's Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo. And then when you do that, when you go to a start sit, it's going to make your life easier. You automatically click your team. It links your settings. Then you tell us like, okay, yeah, Bo Nix is my quarterback. Now it knows your team. Then tell us who you're considering. I know I'm playing Bucky. But then I go to my flex and I think, all right, well, I've got Keon Coleman as an option. I've got Tony Pollard as an option. Charbonnet. And you go through every position and you fill it out. Okay, so that gives us all the information we can have. I'm going to give you a free start sit question because I don't think we can answer it without knowing who your players are. I mean, we can't. We actually just can't. Safe and Sound says, is Walker still flex or flex Javonte Williams or Jameson? Also have a quarterback. I have Fields in. Yeah, Fields is a fine play. He was one of our favorite late round, quarterback strategy picks. I would start Javonte personally. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it'd be. I like Javonte. I like Javonte's matchup. I'm just gonna go with Jameson and the higher upside there.
Yeah.
Love the matchup though, because I think he's definitely worth starting. Just tough. Who's next? I need to refresh because I don't see anyone after Safe and Sound. Give me a second. It's just loading here on my end. Do you see who's next?
Sorry. I'm so close to accepting a trade in the Flock League. All right.
Jake Candela. I'm saying that right?
Yeah, by the way, you guys have been insane with the questions today. How long have we been streaming? An hour and a half?
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
And we are almost catching up to the queue. You guys are incredible.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Okay, at the quarterback position, Baker Mayfield, running back, Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown, wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, tight end. Gosh, Michael Mayer, Mason Taylor. Surely there's better options out there. Zach Ertz hopefully is out there.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? Well,
I'm talking about the tight end position.
But
I already went.
Did you say Amon-Ra? I don't remember you saying Amon-Ra.
Yeah, Amon-Ra,
Okay.
said Mike Evans, then tight end. I guess you go Mason Taylor.
Yeah.
I guess if Brock Bowers doesn't play Michael Mayer, it would technically be the play, but I don't think we've gotten an update on that yet. At least I haven't heard of one.
I would be shocked if these are your two best options in a 12-team league. Yeah, I mean, let's see.
There's other tight ends out there. I'll name a couple. Like I said, Zach Ertz, Juwan Johnson. I will pick up Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert if he's available, Hunter Henry. Did I say Zach Ertz? I'll take a shot on Jonnu Smith after what we saw this past week. Those are the guys that come to mind.
Yeah.
Dallas, Olsen, Kincaid.
If these are truly the best options, then you throw Mayer in there if Bowers is injured. Otherwise, you go Taylor. But that just cannot be your best options. At the flex spot, it's Connor and it's Igbuka, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Appreciate the question, my man.
Nate, excuse me. So if you guys are ever hiring a graphic designer, I'm interested. Love the content. Keep it up. Yeah, man.
Appreciate
Take
that,
me
Nate.
job.
That's very kind.
Take me job.
That is actually Badaki's main role with us, graphic design and branding and all that kind of stuff. So you've got competition now, brother. But no, who knows? As we expand, who knows? Send us a portfolio, fantasylandfootball@gmail.com. All right. If we're ever, absolutely drained with work, which happens often, send us your portfolio, and you never know what can happen. Appreciate the support, man. Megatron here with a trade. He is sending Brian Robinson, Kyron Williams, Jalen Waddle, Ricky Pearsall to get JCM, Connor, Benson, JSN.
Okay, I need to read this again in my mind. Brian Robinson, Kyron, Waddle, Ricky for James Benson, JSN. Okay, JSN and Kyron are wash. James Conner and I would say Ricky technically would be a wash. Waddle, JCM, excuse me. I would want the JCM, James Conner, Trey Benson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Brian Robinson doesn't mean anything to me. I'm getting Trey Benson, who I think has a higher upside. I like James Conner. I like JCM's upside. Jackson Smith and Jigba is the better wide receiver. If you're worried about losing your running back in Kyron Williams, you're getting a really good running back in James Conner. Not only are you getting the running back in James Conner, you're also getting his handcuff if he goes down. You're upgrading at the wide receiver position over Jalen Waddle and Ricky Pearsall, and you're getting JCM, who at the moment it looks like is going to be an ascending running back in an offense, and a really good offense. That's good. I would imagine taking that job over Austin Eckler here. I would say in the foreseeable future. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there. Appreciate the question. Everything Badaki said, I am in alliance on. So appreciate that, Megatron. I think that's a great deal. All right. I think we're clear of the queue now. Are we clear of the queue? No, no, we're not. No, we're not. Every time we refresh, you guys are crazy today, man. You guys are next level. I don't think we've ever had a stream like this where the question we can't keep up. Like, this is Mason Dodd levels of not being able to keep up. Probably not. Still, you guys are awesome. And let me just be very clear to anybody watching the stream. We've said this from the very beginning, and we will say it every time we stream this entire season. If you want to prioritize your questions, put them through the Flock site. That's where we answer your questions. All right, that's where you get the guaranteed reply. It sends you a time code to exactly when we answer the question. It's just the best experience for you, I promise. Plo Sleazy is sending away Tracy Higgins for Jonathan Taylor. I am not really a big Tracy guy. I have never really been a Tracy guy this offseason. Bad offense, and I think Scottaboo is going to get involved on the goal line. We saw that last week. I'll take Jonathan Taylor here.
Yeah, in the start A, I still want Jonathan Taylor. I think it's a pretty fairly even trade. I think I would just say this depends on your running back room. Or sorry, it depends on your team, not your running back room. I think there's a lot of context here that is missing that I would be okay with T. Higgins. But if you are losing T. Higgins against Jonathan Taylor in the start A, I think with that context, I would be okay with that as well. Next one here we have. He says, this is Genty or Henderson for Gibbs and Terry. This or Genty. So let's start with the question up top. Genty and Henderson for Gibbs and Terry. I would want Gibbs and Terry. Now for this trade, Henderson and Josh Jacobs, I would still want Jahmyr Gibbs. This is a start 7. I still want the heavy hitters when we're looking at heavy hitters. And what does that mean? That means you want the best of the best. You want guys in the first 2 rounds or higher each and every time. Travion Henderson, 3rd, 4th round pick. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs. And this is a really small league. So just keep Jahmyr Gibbs.
Sorry, this question didn't go through. I apologize. Physicality, we should give him his time. But he's in the chat. He said, hey, it's a 6-team league. It shows that as a 6-team league because you're all synced up, so you're good to go. I did something.
I don't know if you are reacting to me or what, but
no, I just did something.
Oh, did you make the trade? Let's see.
I just want to feel something. Look, I just want to say, fantasy football is about having fun, and I want to have fun. So, all right.
Well, obviously, you guys won't know this until the video comes out, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So, did you say Gibbs here in a 6-teamer?
Yes, I did.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go Gibbs as well. That's such a small league. Like, you just want the most elite of the elite of the elite players in such a small league. Okay. Safe and sound here. Kittle out, keep Goddard in, or pick up Ertz.
I'm happy with either. Genuinely, I don't really have an answer for butts there.
I'll lean Goddard, but he is not practicing today, so monitor that. Ertz is a fine backup option, though.
Yeah.
The issue is you might not have that information. Who else is on the waiver wire? I'm curious. I mean, you might not have that information here with Thursday Night Football. Now, this could be a case where Goddard comes back and he practices. Yeah, that's a tough one. Officially a non-participant Wednesday for Goddard. If I knew Goddard was playing, I would do that. But if you don't have an answer tomorrow, Ertz is a fine option. Your What Hurts says, is it smart best ball in flex Chuba swap for 3 p.m. game? Okay, I'm gonna have to decode this a little bit. Okay, for best ball and flex Chuba swap for 3 p.m. game. Oh, let's just look at the lineup here. Justin Fields, Bo Nix. We're gonna lean Bo Nix, but go Justin Fields if you want to ride that wave. No problem there. Jacobs, Kamara, Evans, Chase, Kraft. What I'm confused about is if it's a best ball league, you're not setting your lineup. So
yeah,
is your What Hurts in the chat? I'm actually really confused by this one now.
Yeah, he's normally in the chat here. Okay, what about Brock Bowers though? Are you saying flex Brock Bowers or Chuba swap for 3 p.m. game? We're confused.
Is it smart for Brock Bowers in the flex? Right, Chuba swap for 3 p.m. game. So basically Brock Bowers or Chuba Hubbard. I would go Bowers if I could choose. Yeah. But what I would rather do is play Bowers at tight end and flex Chuba over playing Kraft.
Kraft.
If that's the question.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm there with you.
Oh my God, we keep refreshing. It doesn't stop. We cannot stay up. This has got to be like literally 10 to 15% of what it feels like to be Mason on his streams. Because we can't keep up every time we refresh. Okay. JCL XVII, Lamar Jackson, Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne, Ladd McConkey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Warren. At flex, we have Henderson, Adams, Ridley. I'm going to go Adams there, but it's close. I do like Henderson a lot this week. Okay, Mason, there's an account here, and it's called Flock Fantasy on YouTube. And shout out to you, man. It looks like he has a question here. He says JCM and $15 a fab or Pollard. So this seems like a relatively new player to fantasy football. Does anybody want to help out this guy on YouTube here? Give him some advice. Which side of this trade would you guys prefer?
I think we should poll the chat.
Hypothetically, it sounds like.
No, we need to poll the chat and say who won this trade. That's what we need to do right now.
We don't even. This trade hasn't been accepted. I don't know what you're talking about. This trade hasn't been accepted, but hypothetically, he's asking.
Well, I'm saying like who? That's what I'm saying. Who would win this trade? Would it be the Pollard side? Or the
hypothetically,
JCM
you're
side?
saying.
Exactly. Hypothetically.
All right, we can pull the chat. Hypothetically.
That's what I want to know. Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, who wins a trade? Say JCM plus what was it? What did he say? Something random like $15 fab. That's pretty random. Or Tony Pollard. Let's see. Let's see what the chat thinks. Again, it's just a hypothetical question. Now, this seems like a good guy here. This Flock Fantasy account. Probably some small food bloggy. Hey, man, there's a website called Flock Fantasy. Just tell me your username. I'll give you a couple vouchers. And it sounds like you need a lot of help with your fantasy football team. So I want to be as helpful as I possibly can for you, man. Again, hypothetically, it's a hypothetical question. Right now, 27 people have voted. I want more votes. There's 200 of you in here. Vote in the chat. Tell me who you want. JCM and $15 fab or Tony Pollard.
Oh, boy.
Hypothetically. So far, there's a lot of smart people on our stream. So far, there's a lot of people.
Why would you say smart people? Why would you... Why would you say that they're smart? Out of curiosity.
Well, this random YouTube account just donated $10 and was asking me for help, and I have an opinion on the trade. Do you want me to give my opinion? I mean, I would probably prefer the JCM side of this. I would prefer JCM and Pollard similarly, and you get $15 fab. How big is your league? Is the league like a small bench spots, like only 5 bench spots? Then maybe it becomes even more attractive to me.
Oh.
Anyway, shout out to that random YouTuber. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for showing some love. And again, there's a site called Flock Fantasy. You might have heard of it.
Travis.
It's not as funny when I do that bit. He did that bit to me on his stream the other day. It's not as funny because the name of the website is Flock Fantasy. It's not as funny when I do it. Okay. Anyway. I'm sorry, guys. It's impossible to keep up. This is probably is this the craziest stream day we've had for like start sit questions? We've had crazier like team review streams. But this might be the craziest one where like every time I refresh, we're like, oh damn, okay. All right.
Travis, Bo Nix, Ashton Genty there. Wow, look at this. Just as JCM, Tyrone Tracy, RJ Harvey.
In my opinion, JCM is probably going to win you any week. If you put him into your lineup, you probably have like 100% chance of winning. Like if this guy came on the stream and he was like, hey man, I've got Tony Pollard, I've got, I don't know, JCM, I guess, Tracy, Harvey. I'd be like, for the love of God, don't put Tony Pollard into your lineup. God. No, but with these options, Badaki, legitimately, like, would you not choose JCM of all these options?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Out of these options, yes.
Now, I also just want to run another hypothetical past you. Let's finish answering this question for Travis. At the flex spot, it's a Dunze, right?
Yes.
Okay, just hypothetically now. Let's just say you were in a position where you had JCM and Keon Coleman. Who would you start in that scenario? Hypothetically, again, just hypothetical questions.
I would be starting. Let me just double check who Keon Coleman plays. The Jets.
He plays the Jets.
Washington plays the Green Bay Packers, who just shut down Jahmyr Gibbs. Two terrible matchups. I'm just gonna go with Keon Coleman.
All right. Tired Providence here says, who should I start the flex? They've got Hurts, Bucky, Henderson, Lamb, Puka, Warren. At the flex spot, I am gonna go. Ooh, Debo Olave Smith is tough. That's a really difficult one. I think I lean Debo, but
I would be going
Devonta.
It is really close, but I think there's a bounce back there with Devonta Smith. Very close.
Yeah. Man, that is one of the more tough questions we've had. I think I lean Debo Samuel, which means that you should start him at your wide receiver spot, but that's about as close as it can get. Old Hunter here. Would you rather have Dobbins or Boutte? I think this is the same thing that we just said in a previous trade on the stream. Old Hunter obviously wasn't here, so just to recap that, we're all aboard the idea of selling high on Dobbins, but it's in a 2-for-1 package where you send 2 players, you get 1 back. I don't like the idea of just sending, a guy that you just picked up, a guy that was just picked up off the waivers. Like if Dobbins was on the waivers, people would be more aggressive than they were with Booty because it's a startable running back. So you have more leverage with running backs than you do wide receivers typically. So I like the idea, but I would be more aggressive. I would be packaging Dobbins with a Josh Downs and trying to go get, a higher level player, just as an example.
Yeah, I agree. I like that.
Kwame off fantasy sends away Pearsall for Rice. It's a 10-team start 7. This is the question of, can you wait for Rice to come back? And if he was to get Rashee Rice, he has depth. He would be starting Murray, Achane, Hampton, Puka, Jason, Kraft, and then he could still start Pollard until Rice is back. I think this is a league-winning move. If you're 1-0, I think you can do this.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up because my side was just lagging really hard.
That's okay. I would just say if you want to know, my friend, and you can afford to lose the depth, then I would go with Rashee Rice there, because that's a league-winning move from week 7 onwards. Rav here says flex Igbuka or Lad. Are we worried about Njoku? So Jordan Love, Bucky Irving. At RB2, I would put Samson here if there's no Judkins. Otherwise, Mason.
Yep.
And then at the flex, it's Igbuka for sure.
Lad.
Oh, sorry, Lad. Yeah.
Lad.
Sorry, yeah, I can't sit Lad.
Yeah.
But man, in a start 7, to have Njoku and Love as your starters, you've got the depth to upgrade, man. So I would look at like a Harvey and a Love. Try and go get like a Lamar Jackson or something. Because you're going to have a tough time with these lineups every week. All right.
Completely agree.
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, I'm refreshing on my side. Maybe I need to reset or something, but my side is being hella slow. Just wanted to see here.
All right.
I don't think we have anything.
I think we're finally up to date.
One more just came through, Mr. Bang.
Okay.
Appreciate you, Mr. Bang. There.
Bang from downtown.
You're sending away Marion Hampton, Devontae Adams, receiving Kenneth Walker, JCM, and Chetaroa.
I mean, anytime you can get Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt in a trade, it is so hard not to accept that deal. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. It's so hard not to accept that anytime you can get him in a trade. Wouldn't you agree?
I can't agree. But that's okay. Each to their own,
What do you think here?
Omarion or Devontae Adams? I just think you're getting so much more value that you're receiving here. It's a big what if here with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I agree.
Like if Kenneth Walker is going to be healthy and still the guy, I would want the Walker JCM side. I feel like Omarion is going to have the better long-term season. It's just hard. This is really hard for me based off of Kenneth Walker. I think this is an even trade. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
If you want the depth with Walker and JCM and you have JCM, then that's fine. But if you are somebody that believes Kenneth Walker or is not too afraid of Zach Charbonnet and believe Kenneth Walker is just going to have a good bounce back game, then that feels like the better side. But that's a big what if.
Yeah, this is a really even trade, like Badaki said. It's a bit of give and take here. Oddly enough, after week 1, the player I'm most confident in of this entire list is Tetairoa McMillan. I know that might sound crazy, but he just, like after week 1, I'm just like, wow, he's probably going to end up with like 160 targets this year. I prefer T-Mac over Adams at this point, but I just feel like losing Hampton, I don't want to do that this early. So I'm going to stay there, but it's close. All right. I think we're up to date now. And what we're going to do is answer the super chats on YouTube. I can't see them. So.
Okay. I'll have to go on the back end 1 second. I'm going to have to.
The last super chat I can see is Demetrios's. And I know we had super chats before that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Another start sit. Give me 1 second. Did we didn't answer this one from Drippy? No, we didn't. We're going to start Hampton. We're going to start Breece Hall. And then we're going to start Hampton. At your wide receivers, you're set at flex. Between all of these options, I would say Dobbins is your safest play. Hollywood is the upside. Dobbins is your safe play. Appreciate you, Drippy. Okay.
Love.
I am pretty sure now we're caught up. Wait a second. Sorry. Just find the super chats, Badaki.
Yeah, I found them. I'm ready.
We're not caught up.
I'm ready. Okay.
TJ Gotts 13 says, got sent to me without Debo and RJ. Want to counter with this. Okay. So he wants to add RJ and send Debo, basically. The original deal was to send Allen and Pollard for Charbonnet and Coleman. In my opinion, I don't really care about Braylon Allen anymore. He's a handcuff at this point.
Agreed.
So he doesn't really matter. On the opposite side of that, you have Harvey, Charbonnet, Coleman. That's a long-term play, in my opinion. Everybody on the right side of that screen is the long-term upside play. What could Keon Coleman be? What could Charbonnet be if he actually takes the role? What could Harvey be over the course of the year? So I would pretty comfortably go the Harvey side.
Yeah. I would agree. I think one thing I don't like losing is Tony Pollard and Deebo Samuel, but you're going based off upside here.
Yeah.
Braylon Allen doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one.
Just a heads up to everybody who has put a team review in. We're going to get to those today. And that's why we need to quickly answer these super chats and then jump over to these team reviews and try and knock them out.
Yeah.
All right.
The first super chat I see here on YouTube, which we appreciate you guys being patient, is Jawan. He says, hey guys, 12 full PPR have Nico, Drake, Pearsall, and Debo. I am weak at running back with Pollard, Walker, Jordan Mason, and Scadaboo. Any trade advice to upgrade running back? That's, once again, a shameless plug. So much better if you can link your team here, because we can give you a little bit more of a in-depth answer.
On the flock side is what Blacky's saying there. If you can link your team on the flock side, we just have a lot more context. It's easier for us to answer questions.
When it comes down to something like this, I'm looking at like packaging like a Debo and maybe a Mason, see how you can upgrade at that RB2, or Debo and Walker, even though Walker is a little bit tougher now to package. I wouldn't want to get rid of Nico, Drake, or Pearsall. That's probably the best way I can answer that question with any other context there.
This is Jawan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, cool. I just want to make sure that I have this as well. Go ahead, sorry. So
yeah. The next one is the Dennis family, because I already answered that for Jawan.
Okay.
The Dennis family, he says Fields or Knicks for week 2. We will be going Bo Knicks.
Yep. It's close though. Go with your gut. If you have a strong opinion on this one, go with your gut.
Yeah. Just Chrome is next. It says start 3 wide receivers: Terry, AJ, Sutton, Tyreek. This would be Terry, AJ, and Sutton for me.
Yeah.
Gonna be sitting Tyreek. Demetrios, he says drop Goff or Fields.
Okay, hold on. I think I see Demetrios's. Yeah, okay, we're caught up.
Okay. Drop Goff for Fields. Dak is my primary.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm okay to drop
play the
Goff for
upside,
Fields.
and then you can stream every week. Start Hollywood or Shakir over Pearsall if Purdy is hurt. I would go Shakir. But I wouldn't. I would start Pearsall regardless. I don't care if Mac.
Yeah, I would still start. I would still start Pearsall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this random question from a random YouTuber there. Shout out to whoever Flock Fantasy is. I hope you got the JCM side of that deal. Jesse says Rice and JCM value in a 12-man Superflex start 10. JCM's a top 12 play rest of season. He'd be a first-round pick if we redid everything.
I don't think
no,
I can say that. But
no.
sure.
Look, I do think JCM's like a top 24 running back rest of season. Would you say?
He could be.
Well, what is your opinion on him then? This is me being legitimate. I do think he's like a top 24 running back rest of season.
I think it's hard to value because I think it's still going to be a 50-50 split. Like
I totally get that.
Eckler,
it's a very good offense.
Austin Eckler is going to have a role. Yeah, Austin Eckler is going to have a role in this. I think the only way that happens is if Austin Eckler misses time or JCM is just so efficient ahead of Eckler.
He already looks incredibly good. I kind of project him at some point to take over that role. A tweet came out today with, reporters in Washington saying that they project him to take over that role at some point. I think it's very encouraging in his first ever game for him to get more than 12 touches and look incredibly good doing it. So I think top 24, I'm being legit here. I think top 24 running back in my rankings rest of the season, with just how good that offense is going to be and how important he'll be in it. And then Rashee Rice. I mean, how do you value Rashee Rice? As a top 10 receiver when he comes back? You know?
Definitely could be, yeah.
100%. So, 2 says, I'm drippy. Why Breece Hall? He's playing the Bills. Because he's playing the Bills, man. The entire Jets offense is built around the run game. And the Bills defense last year was awful at stopping the run. That looks like it's going to carry over again in 2025. I know they played Derrick Henry last week, but my God, I could probably have run through those holes. I could have put up 100 yards at least. Don't you agree? I could have put up 100 yards behind that offensive line against the Bills last week. So a lot of that has to do with the fact that you've got a strength of the Jets, the run game, and a weakness of the Bills, the run defense. Treston here says JCM and Rashee for Zay Flowers and B-Rob to CMC owner. Fair. JCM and Rashee for Zay and B-Rob. JCM and Rashee wins by a landslide. It's not even close.
Yeah.
So if the question is it fair? If I saw that trade go through my league, I would say I would not like it. Like I would much rather have the JC and Rashee side. But yeah. That's right, John. Actually, John, I am over 100 pounds, John. All right, let's go to the flock site, shall we? Because what we need to do now for the rest of this stream is, get some questions in there for sure. If there's questions on the flock site, we'll be fine. We'll answer them. But we need to get these team reviews bumped out.
Yes, we do. It's a bunch of team reviews.
Let's start with the redraft one. So Shadowborn Kia. So guys, just so you know exactly what's going to happen, we're going to jump into some team playbooks. Anytime you get a team review from Fantasyland Football, from Fantasyland on the flock site, you also get something that we call the team playbook. It's just a little extra loving for your team review. We put a lot of time and effort to customize these things for you. But if you want a team review from us, you also get your team playbook, customized game plan for your fantasy football season. You can get this beautiful graphic customized review by using the code LAND, becoming an annual Mother Flocker member. That will give you a voucher through the Flock store that you can then get a team review for free after you become an annual member with Zach and Badaki. Now, you can go through that same process through the Flock store and get a team review with us if you're a member of a different promo code. That's completely fine. You just have to purchase it a la carte. And if you're out there and you're already a season pass member, just so you know, you can upgrade to an annual membership and take the price of the season pass off of it. Let's go to Shadowborn Kira. Let's go ahead and let's do these things. Let's get it done.
Okay.
Oh, wait, he wants us to answer this offline. I talked to him yesterday. So let's go to T-Fez Rob. Sorry.
Okay.
By the way, guys, if you ever want us to do a review offline because someone from your league watches our content, just like Shadow did here, just say, hey, answer this offline. So we'll give him an offline playbook.
Yeah, give me a second. I have to make another thing for him then.
And basically the way that this will work is I will give you a huge chalkboard, okay? So, and it'll basically be like an article version. So at the bottom right, you'll see the chalkboard. Typically when you get a live review, it's, there's not as much because we've already talked about a lot in the stream, but you'll get a huge, like, complete phone full worth of chalkboard. And it'll basically be like an article review of your team. All right, let's go to T-Fez Rob. It says 1-0, looking for any type of advice. Thanks, guys. It's a 14-team league. Big league. Start 7. Where do you lean here? As far as, are you ready to go? Or want me to take it?
Yeah, take it, because my computer is tripping right now.
Okay, that's all right. All right, T-Fez Rob. Shout out to you, my dude. Team Vicky is the name. You're currently ranked 10th in a 14-team league. That's okay. You have Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Brian Thomas, Terry McLaurin, TJ Hawkinson. Not the strongest team. But your starting lineup is probably Burrow, Henry, Jones, Brian, Terry, Hawkinson. And then you need to start one more name. Right now, that's probably Cedric Tillman. So you're in a little bit of a difficult position, I would say. Overall team grade in a 14-team league, these teams are never going to look good as your 12-team standard type of format teams. I would probably put this at like a B-.
Okay, yeah.
I'll probably go B- for you. Now, Can we just straight off the bat, Badaki, say in this format, Caleb Johnson should be rostered. Absolutely should be rostered. You can drop Juju Smith-Schuster if you want, and go pick up Caleb Johnson. I know he's a nothing burger right now, but in a 14-team league, there's just no way he should be available for free on the waiver wire.
Okay.
But I would not be dropping your tight ends because they're very hard to come by in your bigger format. So again, drop Juju Smith-Schuster in my opinion. Do we have a playbook for him offline? Or,
yeah, we
chalkboard?
do. So yeah, untouchables would be Brian Thomas, Derrick Henry. Waiver wire additions, like Zach said, is going to be Caleb Johnson. Your cut forecast for today, a guy that you can drop right here, right now, is most likely to be Juju Smith. Guys that you're going to be stashing here on your team that are on the waiver wires potentially. If you wanted to, I don't think there's really anyone outside of Caleb. I see Luther, Troy Franklin. I think that's about it right now. You don't really have to stash anyone. What you can do is just hold on to the Cedric Tillmans of the world, the Jaden Higgins of the world, just so you can see how they're going to continue to perform. But other than that, that is all admin.
All right, really, really difficult to pull off trades in a league like this, right? Because, you know, we see a lot of 10-team leagues, 12-team leagues where people have a ton of depth. There's a lot of flexibility. It couldn't be further from the opposite in your specific format. We can't do 2-for-1 trades, Badaki. We can't suggest to come out here and say, okay, let's package Tillman and Aaron Jones, because then who the hell are you flexing? When you're relying on Cedric Tillman in your starting lineup, you don't have the flexibility to be doing packaged trades.
Yeah.
Now, what I can say is I would love to pivot off of Aaron Jones if I can, and we'll talk about some names that we would pivot to. Outside of that, everybody else is a hold right now. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
So let's talk about some pivot names from Aaron Jones. If we go to my rankings here, new rankings page, by the way, the devs are whipping out here. It looks awesome. Let's see. So when we go to Aaron Jones, for me, like JCM, I don't know where you stand. I would rather have JCM, Bill Krosky Merritt.
Over Aaron Jones, yes.
Over Aaron Jones. I would rather have Tony Pollard. I'd rather have Javonte Williams. Where do you stand?
I would rather have Tony Pollard over Aaron Jones. I would rather have Javonte Williams over Aaron Jones as well.
Yep.
Yes.
James Conner, Travis Etienne, Chuba Hubbard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So these are the names that you could, in some leagues, you could hypothetically kind of pivot away from Aaron Jones for. But in a lot of leagues, that's going to be possible. In a lot of leagues, it won't be possible. Now, when I looked at your starting lineup, that was the 1 weak spot that I thought, can we pivot from it maybe? I would definitely hold on to Jaden Higgins. Maybe you watched my stash video today because Malik Washington has got to be stashed in deeper formats like this one. In fact, I hope today's video was helpful for deeper leagues like this. Because what's going on in Miami is crazy right now. But as far as trade ideas right now, I'm not going to tell you to do much trading because you don't have the flexibility to make moves outside of like pivots and trying to cover yourself long term. I am going to give you a free trade question voucher to come back and ask a question at any time if trades come up. But overall, I think you've got a good team. Derrick Henry, don't worry. Joe Burrow is going to come back. He's going to be better. Brian Thomas is going to be better. Terry's going to be better. You have like the all underperforming team outside of Aaron Jones and Derrick Henry in week 1. And you somehow won. That's the nature of a 14-team league, right? So I would say patience is probably key with a team like this. But definitely pick up Caleb Johnson. That's my biggest piece of advice.
Appreciate you, man. Should be receiving that playbook within the next 24 hours. Going to be sending a big batch out today before Thursday night for you guys. So stay tuned for that. All right. I think Cheddar is next, right?
Yep.
Okay, Cheddar. 1 quarterback, 12 teams, start 8. That's our middle ground, our meat and potato, excuse me. Says, I drafted the best in this league. Why did I get shit on?
So where's his team name? What? It's got to be a
Jared. His team name is Jared here. It looks like
4-4-2-1.
yeah, 4-4-2-1.
Well, you didn't get shit on. Maybe in week. Are you saying in week 1 you did?
Yeah.
Well,
Week
Evan
1, he
Ingram went
left.
down with an injury. You didn't start Keon Coleman. Egbuka was your
My
only
mic
good
is messed
receiver.
up. So you have to fix that for me.
Okay. First off, if you lost in week 1, my guy, don't freak out about it. Okay, it's gonna be okay. It's just 1 week. Week 1 to week 2, there's always the most adjustments from an offense from a game. So do not freak out after 1 week. You've got a very good team still. Badaki's mic should sound better. Let us know if it doesn't, guys.
Yeah, it should be good now. Thank you so much. All right, Kyler Murray at the quarterback position, Jonathan Taylor, Marion Travion, Jordan Mason, good running back room, wide receiver, JJ, Brian Thomas. That's crazy that you got both those guys. Emeka, Keon, Worthy, Hollywood, Dante, Evan Ingram there. Right off the rip, untradables, Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas. Guys on the waiver wire that I can see right here, right now, which most likely will go through tonight or sometime today for you guys in the middle of the night, I would imagine. Keyshawn Boutte, Josh Downs, Darnell Mooney is somebody you should be picking up. Bashul Tootin is also on the waiver wire, which is crazy. Now, who to drop is the big question here. I mean, you're going to have to deal with the tight end position as well if Evan Ingram doesn't play. The first name that comes to mind, I'm assuming, is going to be Dante Thornton that you can pick up. I personally would rather have Booty, Downs, and Mooney over Thornton.
I agree. I would prefer Tootin over all of them.
Yeah, and Tootin. So those guys are all as important, all important to pick up, and it's really hard to drop anyone there. So I would just put that as today on the forecast. Overall team grade, I think this team is good. Like you said, you drafted really well. You have guys that fell to you in this draft. I think this is like a B+, A- type of team. That's where I would lean right now.
Yeah. Yeah. B+, A-, you said?
Yeah.
I kind of lean A-. I'm kind of surprised how many like first and second round picks this team has, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
Jefferson, Thomas, Taylor, Hampton. In the Flock League, all those guys were gone before the third round even began. So I think it's a pretty impressive roster you've built out there, my friend. I think you should be pretty proud of it. Now, are there any weaknesses on this team? Probably the onesie positions. Maybe that's where we could upgrade if we have the depth to do so. So let's go to the whiteboard and let's cook up some ideas for you. So right now you're relying on Kyler, Taylor, Hampton, Jefferson, Thomas, Ingram, Egbuka, Henderson. That's your 8. That's a pretty great 8, honestly.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I don't really think you can trade Worthy for anything. Because I was just kind of trying to see where our advantages are. How comfortable would you be? I feel like moving Keon right now is dangerous.
Depending on who you can get for. I mean, I would do that, but it just depends on who you can get.
Yeah. But do you know what I mean? Like, what we saw was so encouraging. It could be genuinely dangerous to move him with what he could potentially be this year. I'm not saying this because I have him in the Flock League. I was the biggest anti-Keon guy when he came out of the draft. It's just, if he truly is the number 1 weapon for Josh Allen, and I know the game script was perfect. So with
I think it just depends on the type of pivot, and people are panicking. People are overreacting on people, and some people are panicking on people.
Yeah.
You can go from Keon to like a Jameson, sure. Keon to Ricky, sure. I would do that. Now, is that possible? I'm not sure.
Let's try and package Kyler Murray and Hollywood Brown and see if we can get an upgrade. Or we could do the same thing, but with Evan Ingram. Problem is, Ingram's going to be tough to trade right now. Kyler and Murray and Hollywood, you could probably trade. Is there a team that needs receiver help? Let's look at the weakest receiver teams. This guy has Keenan as wide receiver 3. Jerry Tillman team could definitely use some help. The problem is their entire team is just dog shit.
Yeah.
Who's the waiver quarterbacks? Yeah. You're not going to get Saquon. I'd be curious if we could grab Judkins in that one. Do you think Hollywood for Judkins is possible in some leagues? Just thinking like long-term play.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you can do that.
Can try it. That's unfortunate. That would have been the perfect team. The guy who has Keenan as his wide receiver 3 is interesting. Would you do Hollywood and Mason for Etienne?
Hollywood and Mason for Etienne. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You can't get Josh Allen, but what? Like, you can't do Kyler and Hollywood for Allen. You'd probably have to go pretty hard. It'd probably have to be Igbuka, and that's just not worth it. Or getting rid of your running backs. Let's keep looking here. This guy has Waddle as wide receiver 3. He also has Nix. Can we find a way to buy low on Bo Nix? So Kyler and Hollywood Brown for Bo Nix plus what? Maybe the plus is what?
Let's see.
We try and get
here.
Laporta on the team. So Bo Nix, Sam Laporta, but we're also going to give you Evan Ingram. That's an idea. I probably wouldn't accept that if it was sent to me, so I want to be realistic. So what if you did Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy and just said, hey, whatever happens, you've got it covered in Kansas City? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's an option. No one else really has a weak wide receiver room, to be honest. You could try RJ Harvey if you did, let's say, Hollywood Brown and Jordan Mason for Harvey would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But those are some ideas. I don't think you need to be aggressive in the trade market. This team is already stacked. I would genuinely hold this team unless there's a good offer to improve tight end or running back. And you can afford to do 2-for-1s because then you can come to the waiver wire and pick up Booty and pick up Tootin. There's no reason Tootin or Booty or Downs Mooney should be on the waiver wire yet. Harold Fannon's on the waiver wire. Shoot. Go trade Evan Ingram in a deal. Don't even ask for a tight end back and pick up Harold Fannin or Juwan Johnson or Brenton Strange. So,
yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for letting us review the squad.
Love. 24 hours, you're going to be receiving that playbook there. Thank you so much for that support. Marty 98 here. 1 quarterback, 10 team start, 7 so heavy hitters. A smaller lineup there. It says, who should I start this week and rest this season, Emeka or Kamara? And then it says, who should I trade to better my team all around? Okay, well, we'll have a look at that starting lineup here in a second. But we're looking at this team: Kyler Murray, JJ McCarthy, Gibbs, Jacobs, Alvin, Monty, Mason, Puka, Wilson, and Mika, Olave, Golden, Kittle, and Warren. Wow. Okay, and this is a 10-man league. Off the rip, Gibbs, Puka are going to be your untradables. Even George Kittle, I would say.
How the hell did you
an
get Gibbs and
untradeable
Puka on the same team?
Yeah.
Maybe people
for
freaked
real.
out about the Stafford stuff.
Probably stash waiver wires. I see Keenan Allen, Bashul Tootin. Now it's hard to drop somebody in the league like this, a smaller league. The first player that comes to mind is going to be like a JJ. Or you drop Golden, you said.
I don't want to drop him, but if Tootin's out there, I don't know why I said that so boldly.
I personally would drop JJ McCarthy and play the waiver wire.
That's fair.
So, and I know and there's plenty of quarterbacks out there. If you drop JJ McCarthy, he gets picked up. Brock Purdy, who was just dropped. Trevor Lawrence, Michael Penix.
Maybe we put a 2-week window on this. I don't think he should make any moves immediately because he's got so many great players you don't really want to drop.
He does.
What I would love to do is some 2-for-1 deals and free up spots so we don't have to drop anyone. We upgrade and we pick players up off the waiver wire. So let's do a 2-week cut forecast for JJ. Let's not cut him immediately. Let's wait for 2 weeks, and then, if he starts to struggle, we can look at the waiver wire.
Yeah, but I think this is a good team, though. I think this is an A- type team.
Yeah, very good team. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. Let's say A-. Let's go ahead and think of some trades because 10 teams start 7. You really have no weaknesses at all. But I'd love to just upgrade across the board. So, for example, Kamara and Montgomery. You know what I mean? Alvin Kamara plus David Montgomery. Can we go out there and, I don't know, send those two to a running back needy team and get a big upgrade? Who needs running back help? Let's see the worst running back team. It's this guy with Connor at RB2. I wouldn't do that for Kyron. Let's keep looking. The 9th ranked team has Taylor. Would you do that for Taylor? Kamara and Monty for Jonathan Taylor in a small league?
Kamara and Monty for Johnson. Yeah, I would.
Small league. Ideally, you go higher than that, but still. Let's keep looking. Obviously, we would do it for Derrick Henry. I doubt that person is interested in a type of deal like that after week 1. Just giving you every option to explore. CMC, I think that's a no-brainer. Let's keep looking here. James Cook, Chase Brown, we would do that for pretty easily. Bucky Irving, we would do that for, I imagine.
Yeah.
So if you can somehow upgrade pretty much across the board there at running back, that'd be great. I also don't hate the idea of using like Montgomery and Olave either. Or what about Olave and Kyler or Monty and Kyler to get a better quarterback?
Olave or Kyler? Wait, Olave and
Chris
Kyler?
Olave plus Kyler Murray. We want a quarterback upgrade.
Yeah.
Apparently Jerry Jeudy just got traded to Kansas City. People are saying. Is that real?
No fucking way. Is that true? I'm not seeing anything. Mike is saying this, but Mike wouldn't troll us. Would you, Mike?
I don't see any trade. Where are you guys seeing this? But multiple people are saying it. Okay, so what happened is Philly Mike trolled it, and then Mike thought it was real. Okay, so it's not real. Okay, so everybody's just repeating what one person in the chat said. You guys, that would have been interesting, but let's not waste time on the hypothetical. Okay, Olave, good job. Whoever did that, you got me. You got me. Kyler Murray and David Montgomery. Let's just say this. David Montgomery is interchangeable in quarterback upgrade deals. Okay? So we won't come up with separate deals. You can use Monty or Olave in that. So let's find a team that needs running back or wide receiver, Badaki. We'll go from the top to the bottom. Nope, not that team. The team that has Swift as RB2, they don't have a clear upgrade, unfortunately, for you. You probably can't get Lamar Jackson for that price. The Jaden Daniels owner has Scadaboo as RB3, so that might be perfect if you can get Jaden Daniels in that deal for either Olave or Montgomery, like we said. The Jalen Hurts owner has Stevenson as RB3, so that could be perfect as well.
Yeah, I like that.
So those are some ideas there. But you're in a very good spot, my man. Very good spot. Thanks for letting us review the squad. I like the squad a lot.
That. Yeah, I do like the team a lot as well, man. So once again, have a look out on your Flock Fantasy message system here before Thursday night football. Appreciate you.
New York Giants streets.
So there's a couple of dynasty teams here. I think New York Giants is a dynasty.
So is Bello. Okay, let's do different seller, and then we'll knock out some dynasty ones too.
Yeah.
We have a super chat from Mr. Trey Saracinco. Need a tight end, have number 1 waiver, Johnson or Fannin. I'm going Fannin personally, but they're both great options.
Yeah. I would agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay, different seller. Whole lot of love. 1 quarterback, 12 teams start.
Sorry,
8
we
is
have
to your team.
some trade questions on the site. Let's do those quickly.
Oh,
Our
okay, go ahead.
Daves would send away Dowdle, Hubbard, Jones, Metcalf for JCM, Johnson, Swift, Evans. Evans and Metcalf is a wash. Swift and Jones is a wash. The question is, would you rather have Hubbard and Dowdle or JCM and Johnson? Rashawn Johnson. I feel like I would prefer Hubbard there.
Yeah.
I would do this deal if it didn't include the JCM side of things.
Like Rashawn and Rico don't matter to me.
Yeah, exactly.
The way I'm seeing it, yeah, I would want the Chuba Hubbard side.
Yeah, so if it has to include Chuba, we'll keep Chuba. Old Hunter here with the start sit. Hurts, Henderson, Derrick, Sutton, Puka, McBride, Pickens. And then at flex, this is probably Dobbins for me.
Yeah, well, really close with Calvin there. Really close,
Yeah.
but I'm going Dobbins as well. I'm
Very
with you
close.
there.
All right, let's go to different seller here with the team review.
Yeah, once again, whole lot of love is your team name. This is a start 8. He says, was pretty happy with draft, but it's my first year playing and getting a little worried about my injuries. Do I need to start cooking with trades or trust the process? Also, buddy has offered Bowers and CD for Puka and CMC. If that sounds interesting to you guys, basically, do I need to panic or chill? Okay, well, let's have a look at your team first, and we can kind of assess those trade options. You're currently ranked first, which is great. Justin Fields, Jordan Love. At the running back position, CMC, Bucky, 2 in with Dylan there, so that's really great. Wide receivers, Puka, Amika, Rice, Devonta, Worthy. So you're worried about Worthy and his injury. George Kittle, you're worried about him as well, which is totally fair. Untradables is going to be Puka and CMC on his team like this. You're already stashing 2 in, which is great. So you're going to continue to hold him, wait and see what's going to happen there. At the waiver wires, I don't see too much. I see Josh Downs, Jawan Jennings, excuse me.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably pick up Dak over Love, personally. There's really not a lot interesting there. I actually thought about this today. Like, if Rachaad White was dropped to the waivers in the Flock League, would you pick him up?
I guess it depends on how deep your bench is. Like in the Flock League right now, you can't. Like, who are you dropping?
Yeah,
You're dropping a high upside
So
player. You're hoping for that. But like, I think if I have like a 6-man bench or like a 7-man bench, I would just pick him up if I had Bucky Irving, just in case, you know.
All right. Well,
like, if I could, I'll pick up Ray Davis.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't have dropped Ray Davis if I could have kept him. I just don't have any space.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it is difficult. That's for sure. Okay. So I like the team a lot. Let me just start there. Like Fields, CMC, Irving, Puka, Egbuka. Not Kittle for now, but you had Kittle there. And then 2 other names, which would be Devonta Smith right now. And I guess you're going to start Dylan Sampson in the flex. This is a team that kind of needs to hold together until people come back, right? You need to hold together until Kittle is available again. You need to hold together until Rice is back. So your plan was, let's start Worthy until Rice is back. And then it was like, oh, damn. No, I don't have any of them.
Yeah. It's tough.
I would be... Okay, so let's just ask this question. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Overall team grade, I think it's a good team. I probably would put like A-, B+.
Yep, I'm there with you.
Where do you lean? You make the call.
I'll lean B+ personally.
Okay.
Because it's a good team, but because of the injuries, yeah, let's wait and see what that looks like.
Mm-hmm. Now, the question is, who would you start in week 2? Because let's help him set his lineup. Fields, CMC, Bucky, Puka, Egbuka. That's fun to say. Kittle, Kraft.
Kraft, yeah.
That's 6. And then he's starting Devonta Smith. He needs 1 more. Would you start Dylan Sampson, Dobbs, or Jonnu Smith, or someone on the waiver wire?
I would be starting Dylan.
I think me too. Yeah, Dylan, if no Judkins. Otherwise,
If you were telling me
Jonnu
Brock
Smith?
Purdy was playing, I would have said Jawan Johnson easily.
Juwan Jennings. Yeah.
Jawan Jennings. Sorry, I keep saying that wrong. Jawan Jennings. But yeah,
Would you drop Jonnu Smith for Juwan Jennings or nah?
yes.
Yeah, because you have Strange on the waiver wire still. So maybe we can do that.
That's probably the first look. You can easily drop your quarterback as well in Jordan Love, like Zach said. There's plenty of guys you can drop, but the guys that you can drop now is going to be Jonnu Smith. Pick up Jawan Jennings, pick up Jawan Jennings and just hold on to him to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then if nothing happens, and a guy is still on the waiver wire that you like, you drop Jordan Love. Right?
Yeah.
And pick up Josh Downs.
I feel
or
like you can drop
Rumble.
Jordan Love now
Yeah. So
and pick up
either
Dak.
one I'm happy.
Yeah. Anyway,
Either one I'm happy to drop.
so his question, let's just review his question and exactly as he said it to us. Buddy's offered Bowers, CD for Puka, CMC. And he's also just wondering, hey, do I need to panic or chill? I think you can string enough wins together to not panic, personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what do you think about this offer? I don't like the idea of getting Bowers when you already have Kittle. I know Kittle's injured.
That's the thing. You're not going to be able to move Kittle. The only way you should do this trade is if maybe someone out there is offering you something for Kittle and they feel confident to just let him sit on the bench. I don't think you can. I don't think you should do this because you would just have too many tight ends and not enough. Then you downgrade, right? Like
and
you lose
when
Bowers,
Kittle is
and
back,
then your
your
RB
team
two
is way
is your RB1 is tough.
That's true. If you lose CMC, who the hell are you starting at running back? You just can't do that deal.
Yeah, you
So I'm just
can't.
going to say, do not do this deal. Yeah, who the hell are you supposed to start at running back if you do that? That's going to hurt your team, not help you. Are there any legitimate trades for this team? We have no leverage. Your leverage was tight end. Your leverage was depth with Worthy. You have no leverage anymore. Worthy is not available. Godwin is not available. Nobody wants Dobbs. Nobody wants to trade for Smith right now.
Yeah,
I
agree.
don't know where you're supposed to trade with this team at the moment.
There's not much leverage here at all. Not much that you can do.
So much
I
more of
wouldn't
a
be doing that
hold
trade.
than anything else.
I agree.
It's not like you can trade your quarterbacks. I just don't know where the trade is happening with this team unless we send you could send Godwin and Samson away if you wanted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we'll get a better RB3 or something.
Yeah. I'm thinking like a JCM.
Sure.
A JCM, Pollard, Etienne.
Yeah, it would have to be in the range. JCM, Pollard, ETN. You can probably get like a. No, you should be getting more for RJ.
Anyway,
Maybe.
I mean,
Those are good options, though.
Chuba Hubbard would be perfect. But I think just being transparent with you, I'll send you a trade voucher so you can come back and ask any questions. But I'm just being transparent. I don't think you're in a position where you can move. Oh, I just realized that you can see the record. Did you know that?
Yeah, and it gives you the points for and everything.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for letting us review the team. I'm sorry it's more like a, hey, be patient. But you asked, do I need to panic or chill? We're going to say chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chill your beans.
Chill your beans, but you will get your team playbook here within what? 48 hours? 24 hours?
Yeah, 24 to 40. I'm trying to get all these playbooks out before Thursday night kickoff.
Okay.
So I have a lot to send out here in the next couple of hours while you guys
Okay.
are sleeping.
A lot of dynasty teams. Should we try and knock these out?
Yeah, how many do we have? 1, 2.
Oh, there's a
we have-
redraft from Shadow, but that's offline. Yeah.
Yes.
We have 4 dynasty teams. You want to knock some of these out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Super chat from Michael says, I traded Pacheco and Keenan Allen for Mike Evans and RJ Harvey. You robbed someone blind, my guy. You absolutely robbed someone blind. Easy Vanya says, wide receiver 1 and 2 flex. Evans, Wilson, Etienne, Mooney, Moore, Myers, Walker, Ridley, or Hollywood. Start 3 PPR. There's so many questions here. I'm so confused. Is the question what? Okay, so wide receiver 1, 2, and flex. You're going to start Wilson, Evans. And then flex, I'm going Etienne. I guess this is this another question? Baker or Fields, Baker, Kamara or Pollard, Kamara. I think I answered that. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, let's go to a dynasty question here.
All right, I think it's locked, right?
Yeah, locked is next dynasty.
Is the first
review.
one? Okay. All right, dynasty 2 quarterback, start 9. That's a meat and potatoes there. So let's have a look at this team. Aztec Empire, currently ranked 3rd out of 12. Your starting quarterbacks are Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, need that QB3.
Yeah.
Henderson, Walker, Cam, and the list goes on. Wide receivers is Chase, Marvin, Olave, and the list goes on. With Sam Laporta, you have your 26th first and your 27th first there, which is good. Going to some admin stuff. Jamar Chase is going to be your untouchable on this team. You want to keep this guy for the foreseeable future. Not a tight end premium, and that's the only hold that you want to keep, or untouchable that you want to keep. Guys that you're holding for the future, there's not much right now, I would say. Martin Harrison, obviously, is just guys. We're not going to be putting him as a hold now because the season started, but we can probably go a little bit deeper. Like Alec, maybe we can hold. I like how he was getting a work. Alec Ayo Manor, we can put him as a hold.
Yeah, he's a strong hold. I really
Cam
like
Scatterboo
in leagues.
Cam Scatterboo is a hold as well.
Yep.
And that's about it. Easy drops. Kamani Vidal, Khalil Mullings, Hunter Renfrow, Calvin Austin are all guys that you can be dropping.
Tyler Shuck is the one name on the waiver wire I'd pick up, considering his RB3 spot. There's no reason to roster Kamani Vidal, Arian Smith, Devon Bailey over a Tyler Shuck. I know Tyler Shuck isn't good, but there's no reason in Dynasty to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Draft capital, you have all your draft capital and give it a B. Overall team grade, it's not the strongest team.
No.
You
Top
don't have
end.
crazy
Top end
depth.
talent.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. If we're looking at your starting lineup, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Henderson, Kenneth Walker, then you have Chase, Marvin with Sam Laporta. Then you have to start 2 would be Chris Olave, and then probably Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I
which
kind of
is
lean
not-
like a B minus.
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well.
Okay. As far as the pathway for this team, he does have his picks next year, but I think this team is competitive enough to try and compete this year. I don't think you like blow this team up. So I would probably just say like we'll rock as a contender this year, but obviously with the understanding that we're probably not like favorites or anything as well.
Yeah, soft contender, we would
Yeah.
call it.
All right, that's great. Is there any admin that we haven't done?
No, that's everything.
To the chalkboard where I graded your draft in the 2025 class. I gave you a C minus. There's a lot of players that we like as stashes, but no guys that are absolutely going to guarantee, change your lineup moving forward. Tyler Shuck should be picked up, especially in a super flex league in Dynasty. No reason not to pick him up. As far as trades, I would be exploring a Ken Walker trade. I am getting a little nervous with him. So we can look at that. My dog is freaking out. It's okay. Does anybody else's dog like freak out when someone starts to cook in the kitchen?
Nah, man, it's just sausages, really.
He is freaking out. He's like, I gotta be in your arms right now.
Those damn sausage dogs.
I'm sorry. I'm working at the same time. I'm putting bacon on the table.
Anyway.
Putting bacon on the table.
All right. So, what do we think here? As far as it's so hard to lock in right now. Yes. So Ken Walker is a name that we can look at moving. I don't think anybody wants to buy Jaden Reed right now. So he's a top
I don't think
player
so.
to sell. I'm not really opposed to selling Sam Laporta either. Buddy, I can't do this right now. I love you. You're going to be okay. I promise. No one's going to hurt you while they're cooking. I promise.
Close the door.
He looks like I just abandoned him.
Yeah, dude. I have like a bad record with sausage dogs. Like I find them not your dog, but I just find sausage dogs like they're hella clingy. They're hella like.
Oh,
at least the ones I've encountered, they're all like annoying, clingy, and like frustrating. Which I haven't met your dog. To be
my
fair,
dog
so.
is the best, absolute best. He is just
I
like
get all the
so
same vibes
kind
of
to
all sausage
everyone.
dogs.
He's so kind to everyone. Everybody he sees on the path, like when we walk him, he thinks they're his best friend. He loves all the dogs. He's not aggressive. He doesn't bark. He's the perfect doggy. I love him. All right. I did forget to talk about Travion Henderson. So that is definitely a name that is going to improve your draft. I gave you a B grade. My bad. I would say if you can get any first in any year for Ken Walker, you would do that ideally. I also don't mind the idea of like pivoting to a James Cook. Even like what about like a Quinshon Judkins in Dynasty? You know, kind of getting ahead of the ball, if you will.
Sure.
Can't get Bucky, can't get Amarion in Dynasty. Even like an RJ Harvey.
Yeah, I like those moves.
There's no obvious sell outside of like maybe Hollywood Brown now. I would say like any second in any year, if you can grab that, that's a great sell. Like take advantage of this moment.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there's a lot of holds on this team, and let's just see if we can compete this year. And then if, let's say by mid-season, if we're a team that's clearly not competing, we can look to sell. We can sell the Olaves, we can sell the Kylers, the Bakers, and kind of look towards a little bit of a rebuild.
Yeah, don't mind that. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for that. Okay, let's see who's next. Donnie B's body bags. Bodies. 2 quarterback, 12 teams start 10. A little bit of a deeper league here. Yep. That's the middle ground format for us. He says first year doing Dynasty, pretty intimidating, looking for ways to compete this year and maybe trade some picks for key upgrades.
He must have a different team name.
Yeah, which on the back end is saying I'm the boss, which is currently ranked 7th out of 12.
Okay.
And let's have a look at this team here.
These
Baker
benches
Mayfield.
are huge. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, Geno Smith. Decent quarterback.
Don't love that in Superflex.
Yeah, but at least you have a third quarterback. A running back, Breece Hall, James Conner. There's really no one else to really speak up outside of, I guess, Jarquez Hunter. Rashad Smith is there as well. Wide receivers, Chase, Jason, Travis, Zay, Jack, Besh. And then Tucker Kraft, Dalton Kincaid. When it comes down to untouchables, you're going to start Jamar Chase and untouchable. Holds is going to be a little bit deeper. That's what she said. Jarquez Hunter, let's just hold him just to see what happens. Jack Besh is going to be a hold. Rashad Smith is going to be a hold as well. We saw him on the field for the first week, and then Troy Franklin is going to be a hold, like what I kind of saw in the first week as well. Easy drops: Ty Johnson, Aldrich Estime, Khalil Herbert, Jaleel McLaughlin, Hunter Renfro, all guys you can really drop. Jacoby Brissett, you can drop all of those guys there.
I'm going to give B-, by the way.
Okay.
Team grade, I'd say B minus.
Yep.
And I would say you can compete with this team. So we'll do like a soft contend, but also be ready to, rebuild if things don't go right. So maybe that's an in and out, right? Meaning, hey, right now after week 1, you are 2-0, which means you have games against the median. So actually, you're 2-0. Let's go out there and let's contend, and then let's probably try and rebuild in the 2026 offseason.
Yeah. And that is all it for admin. Draft capital is going to be a B. You have your first and 26, your first and 27, and you can go for that.
All right. Let's pull this over here. So my dog is like so scared right now. I don't understand. Thinking about your rookie draft, who are the rookies that he would have pulled in here from this draft?
Jack
Gordon,
Besh,
Jack Besh,
Rashad Smith, Ollie Gordon, Jarquez Hunter,
Savion Williams. That's
Travis Hunter, I think.
Oh, Travis Hunter's a big one, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad little draft there. I mean, that definitely helps you in a bigger start 10. Start 10 is tough to field an entire lineup, so I like that. I'll probably put that like a B plus to get a couple names that could really contribute. On the waiver wire, we already talked about this, but there wasn't really anyone that we're desperate to pick up, so I'm not really going to include that in your chalkboard. Mason says, hypothetically, if we all start getting enough questions for 5-hour streams, what's the plan? I have no idea. We tried to separate it where we would do team reviews and then like at the end and mix the questions in between. But now I feel like we just need to do it in order and just knock it all out because it's hard to keep up.
Obviously it's a great problem. I don't think Zach and I actually have the capacity to do a 5-hour stream. I think we want to.
Yeah.
That would especially with like.
We probably have to go live when everyone's asleep.
Days are set. That's what I'm saying. Our days are set up different because we're technically supposed to be working. Like we're working on a script, on the graphics. That's technically what we're supposed to be doing now, but we can't do that at the moment. So
it's a good problem to have. I love that people want to be a part of the site and get some advice.
We would just have to push it back during later. Yeah, maybe we'll start going live at 8 o'clock like the boys do. That would be hell. I would hate that actually.
Come here. This guy will not leave me alone right now.
Sausages. Close the door.
What are you freaked out about? They're just making food. Nobody's gonna hurt you. They're just making food in the kitchen.
Is it like pots and pans are on type
pots
vibe, or
and
is
pans, he hears sizzling, he just starts to freak out. I'm just like, brother, like what? I think the reason it happened is because one time someone was cooking and like sizzling a lot, and then the fire alarm went off, and obviously like the fire alarm.
Yeah, Blaze doesn't like the fire alarm either, but like
the fire alarm
when we're cooking, she's fine.
Really hurt his ears. Okay.
Maybe you should change it. Change the narrative. Start giving him treats when the sizzling comes on.
We've been doing that.
And nothing.
Okay. No, nothing. No changes. All right. So obviously we said contend, but we're gonna give you like the scenario if you blow it up. Okay, which basically means, all right, in this hypothetical, you can't compete anymore. You thought you could. Then we're gonna go look and sell like a James Conner. If you blow it up, who else? Give me a list. These veterans that we can trade away.
Yeah, give me a second. James Conner is gonna be a guy I see. Zay Flowers is a good one that you can sell. Blow it up. You can sell Baker Mayfield. He's an older quarterback. Geno Smith is an older quarterback you can sell. Hollywood Brown you can probably sell right now if you really wanted to. Other than that, I would say that's it. You could probably start to pivot off of Brees if you're worried about what's going to happen, but
he looks so good.
Yeah, I don't think you necessarily have to.
Okay, so ideally, if you do blow it up, get multiple seconds for James Conner. I don't feel like he needs to sell Zay Flowers. For Baker Mayfield, I would say get a early to mid first in a Superflex league, like probably like the 106 to the 108 actually, so probably a mid first. Geno Smith, I would say an early second. Hollywood Brown, I would take any second in any year. Brees Hall, I would probably want a early to mid first at this point if I was to sell him today. But that is only if you blow it up. Right now, I think you should hold and compete with the team that you have at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. Appreciate you.
All right.
Donnie.
Badaki, I don't know where you stand. Do you have time for any more? I think we might need to pick this back up tomorrow.
Yeah. What time is the game tomorrow?
We're going to have to go live pretty early, dude.
1, 2, 3.
I think we're going to have to go live. What time is the game our time?
The game's at 8. Or 10 our time. 10. Sorry, the game's at 10 our time. I apologize.
Okay, we're going to have to go live at like... I don't know.
I feel like the earliest we have to go is like 8. Do the team playbooks and answer as many questions before kickoff.
By the way,
that's go earlier than that.
That's Eastern. That's Australian time, guys, which is more like 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or something your time.
Let me just double check what time that is. Hold on. So tomorrow, our time, the game starts at 10:15. So we can go live at 8, knock out the playbooks.
Yeah.
Like, maybe the problem is, like, any playbooks that come in tomorrow might not be able to do tomorrow, depending on how many. Like, if the questions come in today, like it did, that's going to be a problem.
Let's commit to doing these tomorrow, even if it means we have to come back after the game and stream. That's what we'd have to do. When the game finishes, we'd have to come back after the stream, and that's okay because I would have been pretty much finished with content by then anyway. Okay.
Yeah. So any last minute questions that we have?
There's a start sit from VZ and a super chat, so let's answer those.
Okay. All right, VZ, appreciate you. Thank you so much, and everyone on YouTube, thank you so much for being patient with us as we go through this. He said, should I package Kittle with another player for running back? At the quarterback, Dak Prescott, Drake May. I'm going Dak Prescott. I think we had this when you said Drake May earlier.
I'm going May. Love the matchup versus Miami. At running back to
Zach Charbonnet, Tracy,
probably
or Aaron Jones,
right?
Yeah. I think I might go Tracy this week.
Okay.
Over Jones.
Neighbors, London, Fannin, and then at flex, I think Pickens.
It would be Pickens, correct.
What I will say is I don't think you need to trade Kittle. I would wait 1 week and make sure Fannin's the real deal. And also, trading Kittle right now is not a good idea because you're going to be trading him at a discount. I'd rather just hope I can win a couple games until he gets back and then either start him and be a superstar or use Fannin or Kittle when he's back for max value. Selling a player that just went on IR, you're always going to take a discount when you do it.
Yeah. Appreciate
you, VZ.
All right. So we do have a couple super chats here on YouTube. First one I see is from Michael Hanna. He says, I traded Pacheco and Keenan Allen for Mike Evans and RJ Harvey. I'm okay with that trade.
I don't see that one.
Michael Hanna, the Modern Warfare 3.
We answered that one already. We answered Easy Vanya. It's only Esteban.
Okay, shit, my fault.
That's okay.
Esteban.
Would y'all trade London and Kenneth Walker for Achane and DJ Moore?
That's a great question. That's a really good question. I would say,
I think I'm going to keep London right now.
I think they're both even risk in my opinion. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to keep London. Everything in Miami is a little bit weird. I'm not like selling HN, the shares I have of HN or anything, but
I'm worried about if I had it. Like I have HN, a couple shares, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm in love with it, but we'll wait and see. I don't want to overreact. That's the thing.
London looks like he's going to be
just fine.
One of the target leaders in the NFL this year. So, yeah. All right, guys, that's it for today. If you want to get your questions in, you definitely can. You can get them in on the Flock site. When we go live tomorrow, you'll be at the top of the queue. Whether that's team reviews, trade questions, start sits. We'll be live a couple hours before the game, maybe 3 hours before the game. I'm not sure. It depends on how many questions we get overnight. But appreciate y'all big time. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Nothing but love.
Love.